It's time to get activated, gamers, because you're listening to the GigaBoots Game of the Year 2021, featuring Dan and Bob Video Games.
Bob, I decided to become a junker.
A junker? Dan, why?
KZ Excellent.
I'm waiting for my Uber.
And Mr. Feel.
SNL isn't funny.
This time, we're joined by outrageous categories such as
Best Zelda Game, Budget Dimension of the Year, Biggest Jobber of 2021,
And
Biggest Girlboss.
So sit all the way back in your race car office chair and hold on to your butts, gamers, because the GigaBoots Game of the Year 2021 Podstravaganza starts right now.
welcome to yet another part of the GigaBoots Game of the Year ceremony. I'm very excited. We have the full cast again. We've got Bob.
I'm here.
We've got Casey.
I hope this one's longer.
I'm going to throw you in a wheat thrasher. And we've got Mr. Feel.
I will also throw Casey in a wheat thresher.
Team effort. First category. It's Biggest Jobber of 2021. The nominees are stroke-inducing. They are Escherum from Halo Infinite, Frog King from Death's Door, Fuya from Neo, The World Ends With You, Casey's PS5's SSD while playing Returnal. God damn it.
Owned.
I don't think I wrote that one in. I wrote in the plot twist one. Lance.
Yeah, I also don't think
I think I wrote this one in.
Lance from Balan Wonderworld. See, his name being Lance threw me off, and I honestly started to read Balan Wonderland because dyslexia.
You know, Lance.
Yeah, Balance. Salvatore Moreau from Resident Evil Village. The Spartan Killers from Halo Infinite. Ooh, Halo Infinite, how come your dad lets you have two nominees? Technically, many nominees. And Vlav Archangel from Melty Blood Type Lumina. I've never heard anything about this Vlav Archangel. Bob, I assume this is you.
Yes.
Please explain to me why they deserve to run with Biggest Jobber of 2021.
As far as I can tell, this guy is made up for this game in particular.
Okay.
He feels like anime filler villain man because his story is wholly unrelated to anyone else in the game. He's the end boss for most of them in the story mode. And everyone's like, oh, I'm glad that's over. Now, I'm really concerned about this guy.
Here's the real problem.
It's like this classic dude that has been in the series forever. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know why he showed up.
Bob, are you telling me the final boss of Melty Blood Type Lumina is Karya?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, Karya from Bleach.
God, he even kind of looks like Karya.
This is destroying me because at first I thought, oh, this guy's clearly in the remake that came out recently for Tsukihime. But the way you describe it makes it sound like maybe not.
He might be. He could.
He seems to be in there.
Okay. But
he sucks.
Yeah, it seems like
but only the first half of it is out, so it feels like he's like the filler version.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like in this game. Also, he's a final boss to a fighting game who is a chump.
Oh, that's fucking weird. How do you even do that?
I don't know. Like, I'm playing on normal mode, and I don't lose around to him no matter who I choose.
Holy shit, what? Okay, well, thank you for the nomination. Let me go ahead and get an explanation for Frog King.
Oh, for me? Or anybody?
Whoever nominated it.
I nominated Frog King because he seems like the biggest joke of the three that you fight.
Yes.
He definitely is.
Not in terms of personality, I mean, in terms of boss fight.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because the Urn Witch in the other one kind of worked me, and Frog King is like disrespected even by his own guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, I'm actually not very difficult.
I found him about as challenging as the pot woman, because they both have a move that's supposed to be threatening, but you do one thing and it makes them shit their pants.
The last phase of Frog King is just really embarrassing, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna slam on break some platforms, and I'm gonna jump away. You shoot the thing on my back, and the platforms come back. This will happen 5 times, and then I will be dead.
Yeah, I think I may have beaten Frog King on my first life, like my first attempt.
Yeah, he's the only one that I beat on my first life, which is another reason I nominated him. While Ernwich took, I think, 2, and Betty took like 8.
Yeah, Betty took me about 8 too. I think somewhere between 5 and 9. Yeah,
I think Betty is just a bad fight.
I think Betty's fine, but I understand. I, at least because of your explanation, understand the nomination of Frog King, because you're totally right. Frog King's, in my opinion, as well, easier than the other two. Who nominated Fuya, and can you explain?
That is me. In Neo, The World Ends With You, the Reaper's game is done in teams, so there's a bunch of teams vying to be the best. Fuya is the leader of the team, the Deep River Society. He is a loser.
Okay.
Who leads every loser in the game. Every single person, their sprite makes them look like a chump. This guy, his entire plan is to slowly gang up on other people and sabotage them, and hopefully he'll get by. His sprite, when being introduced in trailers, and I think in general, makes him look like he's about to cry.
Yeah, I'm seeing this image now.
Let me see this guy.
This is intense.
Oh, wow. What?
Yes.
That is, oh, man.
He is basically the first thing you deal with in the game, essentially. He sucks so bad.
His team members look even more pathetic than him.
It looks like he might suck in an endearing way, though.
No.
No.
Okay. All right.
Did he accidentally give you lunch money when he's supposed to take it?
Because every other one of those characters that are on different teams have a bit more character to them.
Mm-hmm.
Him is just like, I can do this, man. I'll do it. And then the rest of it's just sobbing.
We can bust through the 2 Halo Infinites really fast. Eshram is built up as this super badass villain who has a respiratory problem and sucks. The Spartan Killers are built up to be super badasses. How many do you fight? You only fight 2, right?
Yeah, you fight 2. They are the Spartan Killers.
Those are were supposed to be more than just
no,
them.
there's 3. There's 3.
Okay.
There's 3.
Okay.
I thought that all 5 named guys you fight in the game were Spartan Killers, but apparently it's only the 2 that you fight at once,
and then
the one with the sword and shield.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's only 3.
I thought he might be his own separate thing, but I guess he's just another Spartan Killer. All right.
Yeah. They really do suck. I especially the ones that aren't the sword guy, the brothers or whatever.
Yeah, the brothers I feel like need a special. Like I figured this whole category is about them because they're so bad.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
And you fight them in the open world so you can just cheese them.
I think that's the intended design. But admittedly, Bob beat him just on his first try. He just walked in and just glassed them. I was like, what?
I had a bad time and I hated them.
I really don't like their design at all. That fight sucks. It's not surprising. Let's see. Does anyone else need explanation? Salvatore is the hunchback scientist guy.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the one who's constantly shitting and pissing himself.
Yes.
Yes.
He is literally doing that. That makes me lose it.
Of the 4 heavenly kings you take on, this is the one that is immediately defeated without noticing. But then we make fun of him too much, which forces us to do his level. Where he just starts shitting and pissing, and then you have to defeat him to escape.
Yeah, that guy, I get it. I get him being a giant jobber. I think that's all of them other than Lance.
I put Lance.
Okay.
There's that thing that's in every world in Balan Wonderworld called Balan's Bout, where you have to do a stupid fucking QTE as Balan. And Lance, who is ostensibly the antagonist, starts to show up in them, and all they are is just Balan using Hellzone Grenade on him in every single one and owning the shit out of him.
Yes, it is in fact that Dan was there watching it and then tried to say that the song was ripping off a Chips Ahoy commercial.
It had that big band sound that I strongly associate with Chips Ahoy commercials, so I was losing it.
You went 1,000 chips delicious, and I was about to kill myself.
I guess that's all of them except for not sure if you knew, audience, KZ's PS5's SSD. Well, it got deleted by Returnal, like the whole fucking thing.
Now, I was about to say that maybe this doesn't need to be in here, but I booted up Returnal today, and as I outlined to you, it tried to kill it again.
You said your OS was chugging absolute ass.
My controller was low, so naturally I hit the PlayStation button to scroll over to turn that one off, so I can turn on another one. And I scrolled over, I hit it, and the window didn't pop up to tell me to turn it off. So I backed out, I then hit the PlayStation button again, and everything but Returnal's map froze. And then I mashed it back and forth and hit it again and realized, oh, it's slowly activating everything. So then I hit the controller, and then the little window appears with nothing on it, and then I wait 10 seconds, and it's like, you want to turn it off?
Wow, that sounds like a game that may have shipped too early, but who knows? Let's see.
Yeah.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? Yes. We have 8 nominees.
3.
Are we only getting 3 votes?
That is how we've been doing it toward the second half of the last episode.
I'm fine with 3.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. We will start with Bob.
Wolf.
Okay.
This guy is so jobber core. It's hilarious. Spartan Killers.
Okay.
And Asheram. It's rare to get 2 of this level in one game.
That's impressive. Good arches we have.
Shroom's funnier because he spends the whole game being built up. These guys are like one mission prior, like, I'm gonna send them in.
Yeah, they build them up as
my elite soldiers. They hang out on their cool vehicles and stand on a pillar.
And then you beat him, and then Esheram probably has some radio things like, they weren't shit.
Yeah.
Asheram, at least his boss fight was somewhat difficult.
And designed.
Remotely.
I mean,
Yes.
designed, I think, is even more important. And yes, it was difficult because when I died upon loading, I was already being shot.
Whereas
Because that game is not done.
the Spartan Killers are like, okay, I walk up, grapple hook to your vehicle, take it away from you, and shoot you in the face, and you don't have an answer. You just stand there like,
That's
what do you
insane.
mean?
That's deranged.
Look, that's just because they give you the ultimate freedom as a gamer. But thank you, Bob, for the boats. Let's go to KZ.
All right, Fuya. His normal sprite is him about to cry.
That's understandable. And him being one of the first things you deal with makes his design make a lot more sense.
He jobs so bad. It's really, really rough.
Okay.
Let's see. Salvatore Moreau.
Mm-hmm.
He's shitting and pissing everywhere. He immediately loses his collectible that you get. You just get it in a cutscene. The only reason it happens is because Ethan shows his ass to him for like a minute straight. And even then, it's just him shitting and pissing, going, "Watch me, mama," as I do a big, stupid, fishy jump.
Yeah.
He has like the energy of the guy that with the doll in Stardust Crusaders. Where Polnareff just stabs the fridge and gets him, and he's like, "How did you know I was in the fridge?" And Polnareff's like, "You left everything in the fridge on my bed."
He was also what I found to be the easiest guy on replays when I realized I can just throw literally everything I have at you and you'll just melt in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he has the strictest speedrun kill timer in the whole thing.
Oh,
I think it might even be shorter than the find the doll one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Spartan Killers. That's going to be my third.
Understandable.
They hype them up, and when I think of, oh, you're hyping up the next challenge I have to do, I don't think it's generic enemy with a health bar on an open world map.
Yeah.
That just kind of feeds into many of the issues that Halo Infinite has. And if I had to pick between them and Escharum, I'd pick them.
Yeah.
That one's on a higher platform. KZ will throw a grenade and then not see anything anymore, but off screen, that one died. You can see. Please check out my bot for more information.
We're gonna move on to Feel.
Lance.
You know what? I'm with you at least. I understand this vote a lot.
Yeah.
3 votes, it's tough.
Spartan Killers.
Okay. Yeah. Oh boy.
Escharum.
This is rough. I've never seen a single game dominate a category like this. So I'm an honest voter.
Sure.
Spartan Killers. Escharum. Now I need to figure out what the next one is.
I was waiting for you to just say I'm not voting. Next.
I'm thinking about it.
You should pick my SSD.
No. Yeah, you know what? I would vote for Salvatore Moreau, but he has things hard enough. I don't need to
I
punch
feel
on
bad.
him. Yeah, I start to feel so bad. I don't even want to
Doesn't
nominate him.
doesn't that make him even more
Yes, it does.
appropriate?
No, I get it.
You should pick Lance. He sucks so bad.
I'm just gonna leave it at those.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So let's see. The vote breakdown is Spartan Killers. Spartan Killers in the lead, Escharum in second, and a 4-way tie, 1 vote each between Fuya Lance, Salvatore Moreau, and Vlav Archangel. I assume everyone, based on their own voting, is okay with 1 and 2 being Spartan Killers.
Yes.
And Escharum.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It also makes sense logically. Where it's like, of course the henchmen are worse.
Yes.
I would hope.
The henchmen that are just the normal guys, but with funny hats almost. No, these are Spartan Killers. They're so cool. No, don't take the hat off. He won't be able to tell you're a Spartan Killer.
Oh, that's so bad.
So we need to figure out what third place is.
Oh boy.
Yeah. This is hard.
Yeah.
This is going to be really hard.
I'm going to. I have to try and sell Lance again because he's the main antagonist of this game. They don't introduce an additional like mastermind. You just beat the shit out of the main antagonist in almost every level.
He appears in the very first level to do something to an enemy, and then there's a little Balin who's hanging out in every zone. You talk to him, and then you enter these bouts. And at the end of the game, there's like 4 of them per act of a stage.
So you're just like shooting him with the special beam cannon 4 times a stage.
So they try to sell you on a multi-phase final boss in this game after you've potentially beaten up Lance 60 times.
But does Lance literally sit there and cry and pee his pants?
You see, that's why I'm not an avid supporter, but I wanted to at least give my context as I beat all of Balan Wonderworld.
He basically does that. It's pretty close.
It's,
Give me some cool Fuya stories, unless you're not even voting for Fuya in the follow-up. Are you, KZ?
It's really tough. You know what? I was thinking about Salvatore Moreau, right? I don't think I can vote for him because his he has that attack where he gets up on a building and he starts shitting and pissing like a fountain and it makes your arms melt off.
Yeah.
That is more threatening than what Fuya does, which his best thing was, I don't know, get a bunch of guys to appear in one area to pincer attack you, but thankfully you have a time travel mechanic in this, so you can easily dismantle him and then he shits his pants.
Yeah, that honestly, that makes me feel less on us as a protagonist than him, because it's like, what does it matter that he has like 20 guys? They're these guys.
Yeah, it's also like it's the weakest guys possible, where it's just dudes in plaid, tucked in shirts, really thick glasses with giant lenses. His team basically gets almost no points. He gets completely crushed throughout the week, and in the end, he's like, his only option is to fight the number one team. He can't do it. like there's no chance.
Susakichi just squashes him like a bug.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look at that guy.
Yeah, that giant mountain of a man just immediately eviscerates them. Every other team, even there's at least one more that has some really sucky energy to them. But there's just nothing going on with this one at all. I can tell you basically nothing about this guy except that he sucks.
I want to try and sell people on Vol for a second here.
Okay.
Vlav. You've
Whatever.
written Vlav here. Is that not actually his
No,
name?
that's
his
it. I have
name.
no idea how to say that. It's a pile of letters.
I will now look up. Oh, it's this guy.
He is accidentally mailed to Japan.
What?
This dude's a vampire who's ancient, like one of the oldest vampires in existence. Accidentally shows up in Japan. He has no idea why he's here. Wanders into this town and then just gets owned by whoever you happen to be playing through the story.
Oh my god.
Okay, some aspects make me like him, where he's like, I don't know why I'm here. Why am I dying to a 12-year-old girl?
And he's usually like, he makes sure to mention his 12 ex-wives every time before he gets owned.
The ultimate divorced man.
But I agree with all of this, but I feel like the deck stacked against him because the antagonists in Tsukihime are like the 27 dead apostles, so it's like there's 27 of them. Of course they suck.
Yes. But we're seeing one of them up close and personal this time, and it's real dire.
The fucking Type Moon wiki is killing me with this dude's page. It's just fucking killing me because of what Bob said, and also, I mean, it's a thing Bob said, but seeing it translated into actual text is killing me.
Family members, unnamed 10 wives.
I'm voting for him.
Unnamed 10 Canadian girlfriends.
Unnamed Asian wives.
Yes. I can't.
This libertarian vampire is getting worked by the whole cast.
Are you prepared for the dead you earned, Whittle Man? He's like, excuse me?
Just every time you beat him, like is like Arc whatever. Arcudo, I think.
Arquid?
It's
That's what I'm
yeah, it's a
reading.
mess of a name.
Whatever.
Alf.
When you beat it is her, and she's like, oh man, what was that about? Where's Shiki?
Yeah,
And that's it.
You know, honestly, I was going to make an argument for this character before we even got to discussing it in this part.
Okay.
Based on two things. One, nothing says you were a total jobber like people eviscerating you and then just changing the subject immediately to shit that actually matters. And two, this motherfucker is misshipped luggage. This dude is a package that went missing on the tracking app.
Yes.
That thing where you're like, okay, I defeated this. Let's move on to the thing that matters. Reminds me of maybe the most hilarious self-aware filler moment in all of anime, which was the original Yu-Gi-Oh show, where they escaped the virtual world they accidentally found through a blimp. And Seto Kaiba goes, that was a waste of time. I'm never going to think about this again.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like every time he gets beaten.
It was
hilarious.
This filler lasted 40 episodes and had him fight his own dead dad. who uploaded himself into the internet.
Via blimp.
There's a lot of really fucked up stuff there, but that has the same energy. I will side with you, Bob. I won't.
Okay, I'm reading this dude's development and creation section.
Shit.
Oh no.
Shit. Don't.
He was created and put in there because I have no idea how to pronounce this motherfucker's name.
Go ahead.
He's the multi-blood character whose name is just a mass of consonants, and his last name is Chaos.
Oh yeah,
Okay, it's
Chaos.
pronounced Nero. Nero Chaos is his fucking name.
Okay.
But Nasu no, he's too strong to be the boss of this game because this is he's like the second boss of Melty Blood, so I have to invent a jobber to be the first boss of Melty Blood.
It's because this covers the first half of Tsukihime. They had to pick someone weaker.
I was sitting here like, where's Chaos? This is messed up.
They're like, this fighting game ends at Frieza.
No, this fighting game ends at
Raditz.
Raccoon.
Okay, Raccoon. Yeah, that was fair.
You know,
But
this dude has a
Raccoon
mean
is
eraser
bad.
gun.
Yeah, Raccoon.
How dare you insinuate Raccoon as a jobber? He beats the shit out of everybody
No,
before
Raccoon
Goku shows up.
doesn't need that sort
Okay.
of Dodoria.
Guldo.
Yeah, Dodoria.
Yeah, Dodoria is where
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
willing to sit on
Okay,
this.
yeah, Dodoria does make more sense.
So my vote's with Vlav.
Yeah, my vote's with Vlav.
Vlav.
Okay, so
The 10 wives thing.
yes,
The 10 wives thing that is then confirmed by wikis. I love wikis.
this is hilarious.
One of the characters wanders up and he's like, do you want to be one of my 10 wives? And she's just like, no, and murders him in a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I googled this man's name, and that was the first thing that came up. I was like, I cannot believe this
Did he
shit.
say it to the child? Is he just that far gone?
I'm sure he probably did. He's just like, hey, do you want to live in my palace?
I didn't believe it as her. Oh my God, I hope not.
So, top 3 biggest jobbers of 2021 are Vlav Archangel in 3rd place, Esherim from Halo Infinite in 2nd, and the Spartan Killers from Halo Infinite as the biggest jobbers in 2021.
I'd like to thank everybody that our top 3 jobbers are two nominations for Halo Infinite and one from fucking Melty Blood. We did it.
Moving on to the next category. The Thank God It's Out So We Don't Have to Hear About It Again award.
Ooh.
The nominees are Deathloop, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and The Artful Escape. There are 3. We get 1 vote each. And then we will vote to determine from there. I'm voting for Deathloop.
Yeah.
Bob?
Deathloop, Jesus.
KZ?
Deathloop, let's get this part done.
Feel?
Deathloop.
Okay.
Like the other two track so little.
They track a little bit, but definitely not to the level of Deathloop, so let's just get that locked in.
Okay, that's number 1. And this category is so small, we should probably only have a number 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
We should at least decide on the runner up.
okay, yeah, there we go. We'll have a runner-up. We get 1 vote each. We have to vote between Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and and Shining Pearl and The Artful Escape for runner-up. 1 vote each. We'll start with KZ.
This is a tough one. I've actually been thinking about this one for a bit because I knew this would be a fast round. Artful Escape's really annoying and was like at like 3 E3s. But I'll never play it. And I'll never really care about it. This Pokemon game kept showing up next to the one I care about, and I really wanted it to go away so I could just fully focus my eyes on the actual interesting one.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of glad it's out, so we can instead focus on a Pokemon game that's trying to achieve things
And has money.
and has money and it has actual new Pokemon in it.
Yeah. It has new forms.
Yeah.
Okay. So your vote's with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Brilliant Diamond. Shining Pearl.
Bob?
The Artful Escape. This game is just awful every time we see it.
I'm with you. I'm like, I will never care, so I don't know if I can even muster the energy anymore.
Feel.
Pokemon, because just like every time a Pokemon comes out now, it's like crawling through glass, and this is one that I 100% was not going to buy because it's just the same game again.
Yeah.
So it's like I get the debuff of Pokemon Discourse without even getting to play a Pokemon game.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl because I'm excited to move past that existing to go back to pretending the Pokemon Company gives a remote shit. So,
Right.
we're looking. Also, I didn't hate the Artful Escape nearly as much as Bob. This has been a years-long thing where it shows up and Bob's like, God, this again? And I'm like, I don't know. It could be fine. I wish it would come out.
That's the thing where the guy's like surfing down a curve with a guitar and there's like clouds of smoke, and it's like, okay, I was like, because I barely remember the Artful Escape.
That's fair.
That's fair.
It's just you're prancing along and music is happening, and I don't know how this is going to be an engaging video game at all, but they keep showing it.
Wow. Oh, well, you see, KZ, there's these levels in Rayman Legends that play a licensed song, and all the things that happen in the stage happen to the beats of the song, and those are very similar and really cool. This doesn't look nearly as cool as that, so I'm not sure what the point of it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Rayman. Those Rayman games are really solid 2D platformers.
But that level where you get to do Black Betty is really cool.
What? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, so the thank God it's out so we don't have to hear about it again award goes to Deathloop with runner-up Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Thank you very much to all of our candidates for coming out.
Yeah, thank you. Jesus.
Like, seriously, thank you so much.
What if that last episode's nomination's right and we get like 10 Ghostwire trailers in the next 6 months?
No.
At least I'm inherently more interested in that, so it'll be a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen, but I think it'd be funny.
Tolerable.
Like, what? How?
Yeah, I think it being cooler helps me be more okay with that getting 10 trailers.
Yeah, that'll help a lot. It probably doesn't have a gimmick that's really simple that they can't explain for some reason.
No, let me explain. You're in Japan. No way. I don't understand this concept. We're going to need 9 more trailers.
Yeah, show the dudes in masks jumping off the thing again.
So,
What is Deathloop?
the next category. Biggest Girl Boss.
Oh my god.
Hit the fucking deck.
The nominees are Abdiel from Shin Megami Tensei 5, Almer Stinner from Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation Code Fairy, Almedra Caneris. These people are just making up names and writing them in.
That sure is a Tails character name, huh?
Tales of Arise, Aprilis from Ease 9, Cortana, parentheses, not Corky, from Halo Infinite. Hilly Garrett. Yeah, you guys are making shit up. From Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation Code Fairy.
Oh, no.
I know. From Guilty Gear Stive, because someone didn't look after they wrote it.
Whoopsie.
Oh, no.
Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil 8. Lady Hellbender from Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. This is going to complicate this category when 2 girl bosses' names start with Lady. Queen from Deltarune Chapter 2. Ray from Solar Ash. Samus from Metroid Dread. Saori Shirisaki from Lost Judgment. How many is that? How many girl bosses are there?
So many girl bosses this year.
13, yeah, so I guess we get 6.
Yep.
Oy.
But only if you feel it.
Yeah, only if you're
Yeah.
in love with 6 of these dames.
We're going to start with feel.
Okay, I'm going to start with Queen. She rides around in a flying throne, drinks battery acid out of a wine glass.
Oh my god.
And she's so important that every single word she says is capitalized. And also she does shit like this.
Why did I
Tolerating you.
Why did I let him start this category?
I love the lying
she-
in the fucking visor.
She's hysterical. She might be one of the funniest characters ever created. She almost blows up the entire world, and then when gets told that would have blown up the world, she's like, "Oh, sorry. Why do you think I know everything? I'm just a computer." Oh. And I'm quite literal about the battery acid. She's like, "Yes, I'm drinking my battery acid." Sometimes she drinks it in battle and makes a shield you have to destroy before you can continue dealing damage to her.
That's a strong nomination.
So, I'm gonna put 1 on Alma Sterner.
Okay.
Just because of her literally coming up with a plan for a war crime and calling it Operation Fairy Tale Halloween.
Holy. Okay. Yeah.
I know, because I know might be one of the definitive girl bosses in video games.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna vote for Saori Shirosaki because she's really funny, and her whole thing is like, I have messy hair and am traditionally attractive, but don't keep myself up, and I shit on everyone at all times.
That is in fact a roll across both of these games.
And I'm not going to use any other votes. I think that's fine.
Okay. We will go to Bob next.
I'm gonna vote for Katana. This lady in flashbacks is literally destroying planets.
As a sort of like, fuck you.
Yes. Just like, oh yeah, owned. Yeah, and then Escherant's planet is just gone. Lol. And she does this to Earth, like she holds it hostage by burning out Australia.
Yeah, because it's UNSC headquarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real girl boss. She has so much power here.
Yeah, that's...
She's large and in charge.
Yes. Correct.
I don't know if she's actually as big as she projects herself. I assume she is. I assume she's about the size of planet Earth.
Yeah, who knows? If only we actually...
I'm going to put a vote on Ray because she has the moment you get to choose to be the girl boss and continue the infinite repeating cycle of destroying the world.
Oh, cool.
You get to choose that. Like, your future self can tell you, hey, don't do that, but you can choose not to and be a girl boss.
That's true. That's maximum girl boss potential. You're not going to listen to anyone, not even yourself.
Yeah. God. I'll also vote for Aino because, yeah, she's one of those formative girl bosses. Come on.
Okay.
I'm going to vote for Keely Garrett because Alma is a girl boss who is a child. She's a child who doesn't know what she's doing, I'm convinced. She's just in the middle of war and hasn't realized people die. Keely is the commander of the like the Suicide Squad of inexperienced cute girls going to war.
Cool.
So she facilitates that and becomes the ultimate girl boss in my head.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I get that.
In my last vote, I'm going to give it to Aprilis because she's the one who has the gun that turns people into Blaze Blue characters. So she literally enslaves several people in town to play Shui's 9.
Oh.
A fate worse than death.
Yes.
Fill the progress bar.
You both... She shoots them and they turn into horrible monster people who really just look edgy and aren't really horrible. And they have to go through this nightmare.
Great.
And yeah, that's it for my votes. Almeida is pretty bad, but I don't think we need to get into that.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
She doesn't last long.
Wait, is she like a lord?
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking for her then. I still haven't found her.
Yeah, she girl bosses it up for a moment and then evaporates.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the one next where they're like, We don't know where she is.
Okay. We'll have KZ vote next.
Okay. I'm gonna vote for Queen. Everything Phil said was correct. This is one of the funniest characters I've ever encountered. I got a lot of Mario RPG vibes from some things in Deltarune Chapter 2. Her theme song sounds eerily close to Valentina's from Mario RPG, where it's this incredible...
Yeah, she's like if Valentina and Booster were fused together.
She's the typical Ojo-sama laughing character. And everything she does is hilarious, and everything, for some reason, has a realistic explosion when she's involved. And I laugh every single time it happens. Yeah, she's great. So I'm going to vote for her. I'll put in a vote for Abdiel in Shin Megami Tensei 5. She's a girl boss. She gets some stuff done. She orders people around.
I mean, all you have to say is that she's the commander of the order segment of that game.
Now normally, as a normal person, I tend to not want to ever associate or interact with law-based characters. However, she eventually does something so based and cool that I'm like, sure, I like you. In the many law characters I've encountered in all the S&T games, I like you a little bit. That was good. That was solid. Let's see. So many options. I'll put in one for Salary. She's one of the best parts in both Judgment games. She's just real good. There's not much else to get into. She's in some of the like lawyer segments in that game. She's pretty like, she takes initiative in a lot of really dangerous things in that. And I don't feel like she, loses out in many ways. Where I'm like, oh man, you're gonna put a female protagonist here. I hope she becomes embarrassed by what you're gonna do. And it's like, no, they handle all that really well. She holds her girl boss energy real good. I like how the girl boss category. I'm like, I know maybe half.
It's a stacked nomination list.
It truly is. I can really appreciate these because then, then people have to sell me on some of these. Let's see here. I'm between a couple. I'll put in one for Samus. Samus should be getting a vote here. I don't know why I kept looking over and going, who? Wait? Yes, Samus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to do.
Okay. So you're all insane. Lady Dimitrescu, total fucking girl boss. Look at how she dresses. Look at what she does. She lives in a house that is clearly not designed for her. Like, it needs to have way bigger doors. She's such a huge girl boss. She's huge.
She is literally the biggest one of these.
She's
except
the
maybe
biggest
Abdiel.
girl boss.
Except maybe Abdiel. I feel like they're about the same height.
That's true. They might be the same height. I'm going to have to Google it.
Lady Hellbender is also pretty fucking big.
Yeah, she does tower over the others, doesn't she?
It was really
like
tough.
She towers over Drac. She's like as tall as Groot.
Yeah, I'm going to have to... Oh, I don't have numbers on the height of Abdiel. Oh, this is going to complicate shit.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll never know.
And it's like, how do you base height? Do you go up to the head? Because she has those weird like wing things that like jut out from the from the front. Do I count that?
Also, which form?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, the first one's going to Lady Dimitrescu. Second one's going to Cortana. Nothing says girl boss over. Oh, you don't want to go to the Starbucks with me? You'd prefer Dunkin'? I'm gonna blow up your planet. Yes. That's the energy Cortana brings up in every negotiation throughout that game. It kills me because she seems so flippant about blowing up all sorts of shit and ending life.
Yeah, and then we're supposed to feel bad for her near the end. It's like, what are you guys doing?
I hate that all of your arguments are like really good.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not feeling Ino, but I haven't played through Strive's story. Based on what you said in the last episode, I'm willing to put a vote there, and I think that's the only one left that I'm willing to do that for. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do it. There we go.
Dan, you're right. I was an idiot. Put one on Lady Dimitrescu.
Okay.
The ladies were next to each other, and I'm like, I don't know who to pick. I'll pick neither.
Put one of my missing ones on Samus.
Sure. Okay. One moment while I sort this.
Yeah, normally I would vote for Samus because in other games she has just, girl boss out and destroy the whole world. This time she didn't do it.
That's true. She didn't blow up the world.
Right? She didn't even release a virus that killed the world. That was somebody else. She was so close.
But she was quite vicious on some of these, though.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, based on votes alone, currently Ino is in the lead with 3 votes. And then we have a 5-way tie. Yes, 5. That is 5, I'm saying. Between Samus, Cortana, Lady Dimitrescu, Queen from Deltarune, and Sari Shirasaki.
I think we should just do another vote with Ino involved even.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I support that as someone who didn't vote for Ino.
Since we have 6 and we need to determine some sort of remote order, I'm going to say we get 3 votes because if we have that large of a body, that makes it complicated from there. So I'm going to say we get 3 votes each.
Okay.
We'll start voting with KZ.
Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Dimitrescu
Okay.
and Salary.
Okay. Bob.
Cortana.
Mm-hmm.
Ino.
Mm.
And Lady Dimitrescu.
Okay. Feel.
Queen.
Okay.
Ino.
Mm-hmm.
And Samus.
I'm going to say Cortana, Lady Dimitrescu, and Queen. Because damn, did you hear that description?
That is pretty strong.
I was not. Nothing can prepare you.
Okay. So currently what it looks like is we have a two-way tie for Biggest Girlboss between Lady Dimitrescu and Queen, with third place and runner-up being either Ino or Cortana. Is everyone okay with that aspect so we can move on to deliberating between them, or do they think something was lost?
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this works.
Okay. We're going to vote between third place and runner-up. We're tied between Ino and Cortana. Feel, you go first.
I'm going to vote for Ino.
Okay. KZ.
Ino.
Bob.
Cortana. Shit. Yeah, I know.
Here's my argument for Ino. Cortana got owned entirely off screen. How much of a girl boss can she really be?
I assume they use scum tactics, though.
They took a magnet to her hard drive. So in the future games, they're just going to retcon her being dead. So what's it matter?
No, it's going to be no, Dan. It's going to be like Beer Fest, and they're just going to pretend the new Cortana is the old Cortana.
Stop talking about Beer Fest.
He's totally right, though. Damn it! Somebody sell me on Ino.
She has a guitar.
Thank you.
She rips off her shirt whenever she wins.
That's pretty girl boss.
She's in a game you'll have a desire to play.
Somebody sell me on them being a girl boss, not stating random facts about them.
She's a time traveling witch who gets pleasure from torturing people.
Okay, that's
It's pretty
fucking girl boss.
She does
Her
become a
hat
god.
is like a magical artifact and is sentient.
Okay, I'll relent.
Have you ever tried to dodge megalomania in Guilty Gear X2 on the PS2?
I've been blessed in that I don't know many people who play I know.
I sure
she
remember.
she only uses megalomania in fucking boss mode. You don't even have to deal with it if somebody picks her. You have to deal with this shit. You can't block it, by the way.
Oh, you can block it. It does basically the same damage, though.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's the name of that attack.
Yeah.
Sometimes it has different patterns, KZ. Like one will be like a big wave, so you can crouch in one of the waves. But this is just the get fucked pattern.
You know, that's legacy I know, though. She doesn't get to be this anymore. It's too much pure I know.
Okay, so I'm okay moving on to deliberating first and second place between Lady Dimitrescu and Queen. Is everyone else okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. 1 vote each. We'll start with KZ.
Queen.
Feel.
Queen.
Bob.
I don't know enough. I really don't. Because Lady Dimitrescu seems like the answer, but they seem confident in Queen. I'll just vote for Lady Dimitrescu and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lady Dimitrescu's a girl boss, but a bigger one than that?
Yeah, I'd kind of even be okay with moving Lady Dimitrescu below
I know.
and moving everything up, or below Cortana, but I'm a weirdo.
I don't know.
Yeah, just putting Queen at the top and putting Lady Dimitrescu is runner-up. But clearly, the votes are against that.
I don't know.
So,
I don't know. I'm okay with Queen taking this, but I'm going to need to hear more.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, she basically tricks Birdley into being her sidekick, but she also hates him and has to constantly hide from him because she can't stand him. He is the one she is saying, "I love tolerating you," to, by the way. Anyway, at one point she makes you play Punch-Out with her on an arcade machine. And then later tells Birdley that she isn't actually a gamer. She only plays mobile games, but she played Punch-Out with you, so she's just lying to upset him. And it works because he falls onto his knees and screams.
She drops this arcade machine from the air. And you try to do it, and the main character physically can't move the stick or press the buttons because they're too hard. You need to actually get assistance for it to work.
does she actually murder anyone?
She subjugates like a lot of characters.
It's up in the air. She more like sticks like a weird wire in your head and brainwashes you.
Okay, mass brainwash. That's pretty girl boss.
Yeah, threatens to subjugate you and replace your head with a different one.
Oh yeah, she's like, I don't really like your head, so I'm gonna give you this robot head. It's a square with eyes.
That's pretty good.
She keeps telling you to collect the banana.
And here's like a really big thing in her favor. You have to do like a big set piece with great music to defeat her, and she doesn't basically just come off like she's getting repeatedly owned like Lady Dimitrescu does.
Yeah, the boss fight with her does
I feel like if you
downgrade her.
chase after Ethan screaming, "How dare you destroy my entire line!" and then this 5'10" guy who doesn't have a face owns you, you lose some points.
We will. I will put the weapon that can kill me in my house.
Yeah, that is still insane.
Yeah.
It's like you have this whole world. The whole point of Village is to be this big thing. And you couldn't find a better fucking place to put that?
No.
Yeah, you know what? I'll let them have it.
All right.
I'm okay with them taking first with Queen. Bob has brought up the issue of lowering Dimitrescu and raising other people. I'm really against that. Is anyone else for it though? Like
I'm fine with her being number 2.
Yeah, I like her. I like her a lot.
I can't effectively argue because I haven't played Strive story mode, so I can't comment on how much of a girl boss I know is in that. If I had, maybe I would, but I haven't, so I can't.
Yeah, I have no point of reference. I like Dimitrescu a lot. I just think that one last part is really funny because it makes her seem like a really big chump.
Yeah.
But every other action she has, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. She commanded the internet for at least a month there.
Yeah. There's that moment where she's like on the phone or whatever, and you're outside the window, and she's clearly looking at you through the window, through the mirror.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me shit bricks.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Also, when you try to turn that crank and then she sneaks up behind you, and then I shit myself.
Or when we try to open that door and all we can see is her ass.
and she does cut off Ethan's hand that one time. That is pretty girl boss.
Yeah, that's the one I'm speaking about, where it's like, oh, it's fine. And when that got me bad.
Yeah, no, that was really bad. Can't wait till they add PSVR 2 support to Resident Evil 8.
Man, all the vibration in the right one stopped.
Oh, that'd be really funny.
That'd be good. Okay, well, I'm happy the way this is currently sitting.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I'm going to read it out. The runner-up for Biggest Girlboss is Cortana, parentheses not quirky, from Halo Infinite. Third place goes to Ino. Second place goes to Lady Dimitrescu. And first place goes to Queen from Deltarune Chapter 2. Thank you very much to all our nominitas.
That's how that works, right?
Yes, that is definitely a Spanish word I just said.
All the nominitas.
Is that the new Taco Bell item?
Is that on their battle pass?
No, it's too valuable to be on their battle pass. Their battle pass consists of just a regular taco with no soft shell or anything or chicken and fire sauce packets. That's it. You can't get anything else.
God.
We're going to move on to our next category, Best Soundtrack. The nominees are Bowser's Fury, Death's Door, Deltarune Chapter 2, Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, Guilty Gear Strive, Melty Blood Type Lumina, Neo, The World Ends With You, No More Heroes 3, Lost Judgment, Shin Megami Tensei V, and Tales of Arise. We have 11 nominees. That's 10 votes, right?
Fine, lock it up.
Sadly, no.
Okay, well, we have five. We have 5 votes.
Okay.
I'll go first. There's no way I'm getting out of this without voting for Guilty Gear Strive. One of the only games that's like, our game's up for pre-order. I'm like, pfft. They're like, our song's up for pre-purchase. You can listen to it now. And I'm like, ooh. Really, really good soundtrack. I enjoy every track in that game. I've yet to hit one that I didn't love. It's really good. Second vote's going to Death's Door. I was convinced this was like not someone on the dev team who made this. This thing is so well produced as a soundtrack and beautiful in its composition and instrumentation. I was floored that it was just, it's one of the 2 main guys. I'm like, what? No, it's not, because you can't be that gifted. I'm upset. Really, really amazing soundtrack. I really enjoy it. It's so deeply moody and beautiful. Beautiful. No More Heroes 3, definitely. There's so many good tracks in that. It's hard to keep track. Just they didn't have to go that hard on the sushi stand theme.
That is a great theme.
Yeah, that's the one that always pops up to me.
The boss themes being unique and interesting and fitting perfectly with their style is so good to me too. I really enjoyed a lot of them immensely. It's really good. And also, as usual with No More Heroes, when you get to the chiptune sort of fanfare stuff, they really do that well. Like whenever it's like this retro style thing, it's really good. So I'm gonna give my third vote to that. Looking at the rest of this, I like some of their soundtracks, but I don't necessarily love them. So I'm gonna go ahead and withhold my last two votes. We'll go next to KZ.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna start with Neo: The World Ends With You. Ishimoto has done a lot of really good soundtracks, but one of his best at the time was The World Ends With You original. And recently, I feel like some of his stuff has been really, really synthy and not great. Honestly, like some of the stuff he did in Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't very good. Then he puts this shit out, and it's incredible. A really good mix of styles, a lot of really good rock tracks, and some like nice club style music. It absolutely fits and feels like this really great extension. There's a nice mix of old tracks with new remixes, but a ton of new stuff that is a real highlight. And like some of the test tracks they put in, like Breaking Free, a whole 6 months before the game came out, I feel like I listened to well over 200 times before the game even came out. So I'm a big fan of that. Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, I'm going to put a vote in toward that.
Okay.
Masayoshi Soken's probably the best composer Modern Square has employed right now. It is kind of absurd how much music he has put together, even through fighting through cancer recently. This might be his best soundtrack yet for me. So many good things that evoke previous themes from previous expansions he's done, and really good range between some rock tracks, some techno stuff, down to like the really slow, like a slow piano track, and all of it just comes out really well. And anything that uses vocals is like a 10 over there. Some really, really good stuff. Next, I'm gonna give one to Shin Megami Tensei 5. This I forget the name, but brings over the same composer that did both Shin Megami Tensei 4 games, and they deliver something really good here. In general, I feel like there's a lot of really slow, some slower tracks here. A lot just slower paced on some of them, but overall it has some of my favorite battle themes in the series, and it has its own unique style that I feel like the 4 games didn't really have, which helps it stand out a decent bit. I think the main boss theme that's used for a lot of the bigger bosses is quite good. So I was really happy with this. I was looking for something approaching this type of style for 5, so I was really happy they delivered on it. My fourth one, Deltarune Chapter 2. All of Toby Fox's music is incredible. He does an insane job on pretty much everything, and all the new stuff that was in this is great. You would think when these are like smaller projects, they wouldn't need so much, but apparently the soundtrack for Chapter 2 is like over 40 songs. And it's all like really...
Yeah, he's a composer, so which is why the sound design and all his stuff is also sick.
Yeah. There's so many really good, catchy tracks throughout this entire thing that are just really, really good. And my last one's gonna go to Lost Judgment. I felt like the soundtracks for the Yakuza style games have been getting better and better over time, and the Judgment games have just been blowing it out of the park for like really amazing tracks, like the one you do when you're actually grouping up with all of the guy party members, and it just starts exploding down to some of the more
the theme of Dudes Rock.
Yeah, the themes of Dudes Rock, or when you fight one of the main villains, and for some reason they have a serial killer horror movie sting while he's fighting you, and it just really adds to the whole thing. But yeah,
it's really great when it's like this. What is this dubstep remix of this classical song, and why is it for these two middle-aged men fighting in a parking lot?
Yeah, it's just it feels like they keep getting better and better with each of these games. So yeah, that's my 5 because I can't pick 10.
Okay. We're gonna move on to Bob.
Okay, Guilty Gear Strive.
Okay.
I keep trying to think of songs from the other games, and all I can think of is May's theme.
It's all coming up May.
Like every song in this game is some insane vocal song that seems like it's from a different game.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yep.
It's some powerful shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like one of the best soundtracks I can think of. It's kind of ridiculous.
It is, yeah.
Second vote's going to Melty Blood. Melty Blood is this weird synth thing that makes me think of Sonic Adventure. It doesn't sound as professional as the other ones.
Uh-huh.
But there's just something about it that really just tunes in to what I want. It's got an energy unlike anything else, and I'm really glad. SMT5 is my next vote.
Okay.
I think just the level up theme being that.
Oh, that is my favorite theme.
That much funk on there.
That might be the best results theme in any game.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
I'm just chilling out.
Why haven't I gotten the soundtrack yet?
The boss themes are all good. Whenever you go to a new area, you get a whole new theme for it just in the overworld, and every one of those is good. And they also transition between multiple versions of them as you walk around, depending on if you're inside or outside.
Yes, they do.
It's a really strong soundtrack.
It is kind of ludicrous when you look up a YouTube video called All SMT5 Battle Themes, and I think it hits 20.
Also, I played a little bit of that DLC with Demi Fiend. We got some classic Nocturne music in there. I was like, oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for this treat.
I'm glad they actually did an arrangement instead of just like porting in one of the old songs.
Let's see. I'll give another one to No More Heroes 3. That's another really strong soundtrack. And I think I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. We'll go to Feel.
Guilty Gear Strive. It's just like if every character has like a vocal song, you can't. It's really hard to overcome that.
It is.
Deltarune Chapter 2 because Toby Fox is genius. And it's hard to overstate just how smart it is that he's like, I want this character's theme to have this kind of vibe, so I guess I'll use the sound font from this game.
Yeah.
God.
Which makes
it's so good.
Which lets them do things like make like Queen's theme, which sounds both exactly like and nothing like a song from Super Mario RPG. In fact, I'll just put it so you can listen. You can tell in 10 seconds. Like it's just instantly noticeable. Lost Judgment. For sure.
Okay.
Endwalker.
Okay.
And for the last, I guess I'll go with No More Heroes 3 for the last one.
Okay. I'm going to tabulate this. Give me just one moment. We have 2 currently tied for first place. No More Heroes 3 and Guilty Gear Strive. We have a 4-way tie for third and the runner-up between Deltarune Chapter 2, Final Fantasy XIV, Endwalker, Lost Judgment, and Shin Megami Tensei 5. Now, did anyone want to take any of these from the second group and get it up in the top? I guess we could vote for that.
What, just vote for all of these right now?
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably fair.
I think that probably will work out best. Okay, we'll go ahead and start with Feel.
Deltarune Chapter 2.
Okay.
No More Heroes 3 just on the strength of that sushi song. Like, the soundtrack is good, but that sushi song lives in my head.
It's a really good song.
And Lost Judgment. There's like every single song in that pretty much is a bop.
Okay. We'll go to KZ next.
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. And Deltarune.
Okay. Bob?
Guilty Gear Strive.
Okay.
SMT 5.
Okay.
Yeah, No More Heroes.
Okay. No More Heroes, Guilty Gear Strive, Shin Megami Tensei 5.
You know what? Just take off my No More Heroes one. I'll just do 2 votes and I'm fine.
Okay. Okay, so we've got new order. Let me tabulate. So currently, Shin Megami Tensei 5 sitting at the top. And we have a 3-way tie between No More Heroes 3, Guilty Gear Strive, and Deltarune Chapter 2. I think we vote between all the 2 voters.
Mm-hmm.
We get 2 votes each, and then we can determine from that second, third, and runner-up. But does anyone want Shin Megami to fall below something else?
No, I'm fine with that.
Does anyone want to make that argument?
I mean, I think Strive is stronger than it, but it's really good. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, we need to move it.
I love Strive soundtrack, but 5 is also like, wow.
Yeah. I like Shin Megami Tensei 5 soundtrack, but I think Strive's a stronger one. Field, did you?
No, I'm good with 5 being at the top. I've heard stuff from that. It's good.
Okay.
I was like, I'm trying to figure out if 3 of us actually voted for that. If there was some weird clerical error. Just because, like, did Dan vote? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I voted for.
Yeah, that actually got 3.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Like, that was the least strong one I was on.
Right.
Like, I voted for it because of the selection we had. That was my 3rd place.
Okay.
Right? And that's why I'm bringing up this topic of conversation of, like, does anyone think that should fall below No More Heroes 3 or Guilty Gear Strive? Because personally, I think, like, I haven't heard enough Deltarune Chapter 2 to speak on it authoritatively, but I'm very sure that I feel stronger about No More Heroes 3's soundtrack and Guilty Gear Strive than I do Shin Megami Tensei 5, personally.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I like it, SMT5 a lot, and it gets better as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's...
Yeah, third place is by no means a bad soundtrack.
No.
Like, I'm like, this is tough competition. Field, do you have opinions about the placement of Shin Megami Tensei 5 above both No More Heroes 3, or all 3 No More Heroes 3, Guilty Gear Strive?
I mean, I would rather have either of the other 2 above it or both. You know, because I like Strive's vocal stuff a lot, and I think No More Heroes 3 has a lot of, like, unique songs that I like a lot.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm good with
Plus,
that
I'm
too.
willing to give it number 1 just for the sushi song.
I think in a game as fantastic as No More Heroes 3, somehow the soundtrack comes out as like one of the best parts. It's I constantly talk about how game devs need to put more money into soundtracks, right?
Yeah.
And get more composers and really go all out, like Sonic 3 style, where it's like we have 19 fucking composers or whatever.
I mean, that's the thing. No More Heroes, I feel like, is uneven in a lot of places, but the soundtrack, no. It holds the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
connective tissue that's like, yeah, it's always going to be good.
It's always going to be good. Yeah, that's my thing too, where I feel like that. Yeah, I don't feel like it makes sense for SMT5 to be at the top.
Yeah.
And it sounded like at least Bob and Feel agree with me. It sounds like or KZ disagrees.
I feel bad. I don't remember most of No More Hero 3's soundtrack. I remember like the results screen, the sushi song, and like some bits and pieces of like character themes, but I can't say I remember much.
You telling me you don't remember the rap battle?
That's gone. That is beyond gone. And you're really not selling me on supporting it further, honestly.
No, that soundtrack's incredible. The rap battle's hilarious as shit when fucking Travis can't actually rhyme and just goes, fuck you.
And then Porky Pig is there.
Yeah, I think SMT5 is a really good soundtrack. I really don't think it's better than the Strive or No More Heroes 3.
Yeah, I'm like, Strive is definitely better, and I'm iffy on like between it and No More Heroes. I definitely could go either way.
I could go either way on that too, because I feel very strongly about both those soundtracks.
Yeah.
How about this then? Let's take these top 4, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We'll get 2 votes each.
Okay.
We'll see how that looks. Vote. No More Heroes 3 and Guilty Gear Strive. Feel.
Deltarune and No More Heroes 3.
KZ.
Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Deltarune.
Bob.
I'm just gonna vote for Strive.
Okay. So you don't.
Yeah, I don't even
Okay.
use my second vote. It's fine. We can.
Okay. Well, we have a 3-way tie.
Yeah, I know.
But it looks like SMT5 fell to runner up. That's
Wow.
I mean, I've heard Toby Fox's prior soundtracks,
Mm-hmm.
and based on the strength of all of those, I don't doubt that I would like Deltarune Chapter 2 more than SMT5. That's not to say it's fucking bad.
Yeah, I know. It was just the jump.
Yeah,
it,
this
the
is-
jump
this
it
is
just
like-
had was it was like watching it get its tires slashed.
This category this year is like the fucking meeting of kings.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
It kind of always is.
I feel like 2014 would have been easy.
Let's not talk about 2014.
I don't know. I really like Dragon Age Inquisition soundtrack. The theme of night was quite
KZ.
good. Shut it! No, don't
KZ,
talk
though,
to
that
me.
doesn't have a soundtrack. it has the weird musical sequence where everyone sings for no reason.
What?
Okay, we're gonna ignore that comment entirely and keep our heads down.
Yes, we gotta finish this.
We got to figure this out because we have a 3-way tie between No More Heroes 3, Guilty Gear Strive, and Deltarune Chapter 2. If we just do another 2-voter, I'm positive it stays the same.
Oh yeah, there's no way it
What
doesn't.
makes you say that?
Based on what just happened.
Well, I don't have to vote for Shin Megami Tensei 5 anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll do it again. Okay, 2 votes each. I'm going to vote for No More Heroes 3 and Guilty Gear Strive. KZ?
Guilty Gear Strive and Deltarune.
Feel?
Deltarune and No More Heroes 3.
Hey, Bob.
Guilty Gear Strive. And that's it.
Chad.
Look, I can't complain. Right?
No, that's good. I'm sure.
I will cede to No More Heroes 3 so I stop feeling like we're in a maze.
Yes, that's fair.
Don't give up.
Well, KZ, what am I supposed to do? 2 people haven't heard the fucking soundtrack.
Damn.
You throw some more themes at us. I feel very strongly about the No More Heroes 3 soundtrack.
Okay, let me pull up some soundtracks.
Throw some absolute bangers at me. I am open to changing my mind for fucking sure.
Okay, let's see.
I will leave him in charge. I'm on a phone.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, let's see, what do we got here?
You need to listen at least to 30 seconds of that one.
You know, it was around this point as I was playing through this game.
Yeah.
That this hit, and I was like, did he already write the game in for best soundtrack? Where I'm like, this is what they call a generic field theme.
Okay, so that was Cyber's World.
Mm-hmm.
This one is Smart Race. Okay.
That's the King's List.
Now I'm listening to Now's Your Chance to Be A.
I admire all the sound font choices in this soundtrack.
Yeah. Okay. That was Pandora Palace.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, this one.
Yeah, Knock You Down has a real Genesis feel. I don't know how else to put this. Actually, it could be SNES guitar.
Yeah, I was like, that's not some Mega Man X.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Rock and roll racing over here. Okay, and then this is Big Shot.
Yes. This would, in fact, be the Super Boss theme.
Yes, I'm actually already familiar with this theme.
The music really, really adds to the general gameplay of, like, Deltarune.
Yeah.
Where, like, those really high-octane, fast battle tracks are... This is a turn-based RPG, but ostensibly what you're doing is you're a little heart moving in a square.
Yeah.
And the enemy's throwing different attack types at
Yeah,
you.
you're doing shmup. You're dodging bullet hell.
Yeah, it's Danmaku, yeah.
Yeah, so a Super Boss just becomes, here's 50 different attack types, and it's like, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
And that music just really feeds into that.
Yeah, I am aware.
Yeah.
I'm tapped in to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like I'm more with the No More Heroes 3 soundtrack. Like, for me, there isn't any theme that I've heard from Deltarune 2 that are as outrageous as some of the themes in that. Like, even just the Kill song, where you fucking murder someone and it's the victory theme that's just this loud, bombastic, we're ruining a drum set and strumming the fuck out right now sound. Like, there's the fucking No More Heroes 3 soundtrack is really, really strong in my opinion. And this isn't to say that, like, Deltarune Chapter 2 is bad. This is to say I personally think No More Heroes 3's soundtrack is more, like, I enjoy it more, and I think it's a stronger soundtrack for this year, right? Bob, were you moved?
Yeah, I get you.
Were you moved by any of the what we listened to?
I mean, they're all good. Honestly, I'm fine with this going either way. I really am. So it's, yeah.
Okay.
Can we listen to the No More Heroes theme for when the credits roll? Like, because every chapter it does it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure.
The ED theme,
Yes.
basically. God, yeah, that fucking...
It always hits. Yeah. Oh, no.
Are you thinking the opening?
No, that's it.
Okay.
That thing is so good.
No,
There's
Bob's vibing is what those noises were.
There's just something.
Yeah, see, I stand by throwing in with No More Heroes 3 for second place.
Yeah, I forgot about this track. So yeah, I'm willing to let it happen.
I mean, for me, this is why I asked, because I'm not trying to imply this is bad.
Okay.
But when they do the boss roll, right?
Okay.
Where it's just like, okay, we're gonna show you all the bosses while playing this intro thing.
Yes.
And it's just this loud, bombastic song as it flashes all this crazy bullshit.
Oh yeah, the
that's
intro.
the one that fucking gets me. Where it's just silhouettes of the bad guys flying around. I know it's a very specific parody of a thing I haven't even watched, like this intro.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the outro, the parody of something Gundam-esque.
Oh, yes, it is actually a parody of that too.
Yeah.
but this music goes really hard. It's too bad this YouTube video is very low quality.
Yeah. The intro is always gonna win out because the No More Heroes theme is that. Like it's always been been amazing.
Yeah.
Where they first showed like the first trailer of Travis Strikes Again, and I'm like, yeah, they're playing that theme. I can't hear Travis over the mix when they first showed that at a PAX, but I'm like, man, I'm vibing over this track though.
Yeah. I really like how they took that like core riff that is the No More Heroes thing and then made it into that style of song. Like it for that intro sequence with the silhouettes. I think is it an Ultraman thing they're parodying? Does anyone know exactly?
These are Kamen Rider original or
Okay.
Ultraman. It's one of those two. I think it's Kamen Rider original, actually.
Yeah, it just damn is it good. That's why I fucking used it for the fucking spoiler cast. Yeah. If it feels fine with conceding.
Yeah, I can also be fine with that.
Okay.
It's a battle for second place. It's not.
Yeah, it is a battle for second place, and we've said multiple times this fucking year's stacked.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, let's get out of here. For now. Out of this category hyper specifically.
Yes.
The runner-up for best soundtrack of 2021 is Shin Megami Tensei 5, with Deltarune Chapter 2 coming in third, No More Heroes 3 coming in second, and the best soundtrack of 2021 being Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah, of course, that first song.
It's fucked up how good that is.
That first song, and then the next time I see it in a trailer, it's with a full crowd singing it, and then getting quiet when they do lyrics that they don't recognize, but then getting back in there again.
It's real good. It's real good. We just went from the hardest category
God,
because of how good it is.
I'm always tired after that one. It's rough.
Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. I watched Death's Door just die and no one even looked at it. Anyway.
And Death's Door Death's Door is like my new metric for like, just because your sound, you don't have to have like rock guitars. You can have like an atmospheric soundtrack that still exhibits presence, which is something that so many like Western studios completely fail to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's like like when the Elder Scrolls 6 actually no, the Elder Scrolls actually does it more than most Western devs. But there's just this energy of like, music's like a toilet. You need it, but you shouldn't draw attention to it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it got a vote at all.
Yeah. I
Looking to you, Tails.
that oh man.
And
I
Bowser.
didn't even notice Tails.
Yeah.
Yeah, that soundtrack so perfectly encapsulates the tone of that game, and it would not be as great of a game for me if it didn't have that. But anyway, we got to move on to the next category. Budget Dimension of the Year. The nominees are Halo Infinite, Scarlet Nexus's Final Stage, which I'm moving because it's out of alphabetical order. Dungeons from S&T 5.
Oh shit! Someone caught up.
The Ocean from Bowser's Fury. The fictional dimension Caligula Effect 2 occurs in from Caligula Effect 2. And The City, but with inverted colors from Ease 9. Let's see. That's 6. Oh man. We doing 2. I think we should do 3 just to help us suss out an order.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You know, you would think in a budget dimension, normally you do the content that maybe is a small part of the game or like you need to do this sort of action. And this action isn't necessarily plot centric. So you're going to go to the budget dimension to solve a problem and come back and we'll do some story stuff.
Uh-oh.
So Halo Infinite being the inverse of that. Get out of this giant open world we made and go into this hallway again. It's really weird.
For the next 2 levels, we will have one enemy type. It flies.
Yeah, it's really weird. So it's going to get my nominee because of that. I do want to be sold on SMT5 here because I've not made it to the dungeons. But my second vote for now is going to the ocean in Bowser's Fury because it was like, we want to have these big floating levels and we want it to be seamless. So everything around them will be water because, oh God, is it so much easier to load water. And man, the fast travel of that game's instant because of that. But man, you can cut down on development costs a lot when most of your game's water.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Wind Waker. At least that was so long ago that it was really ambitious and neat and different. But yeah, I'm willing to hear out dungeons. I'm going to cede my turn from now.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Can I sell you on dungeons?
Oh, I would love to be sold on dungeons.
All right. In the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, they're known predominantly for dungeon crawling.
Yes.
You go into an interior, and then you solve some sort of maze with a variety of gimmicks and mechanics, and eventually leads to a boss.
Mm-hmm.
Shin Megami Tensei 5 has 3 dungeons, and only one of them is finished. There's one dungeon that uses wind mechanics
Okay.
that kind of bounce you around the area, and it's all right. I guess like it's up there. It starts to annoy you a little bit, so it's hitting the marks of a Shin Megami Tensei dungeon.
That is, in fact, key to its role.
Then in very late game, they basically have two dungeon zones. One of them is just a series of squares, but they put a bunch of the exact same enemy with it where they don't move in front of doorways until you get close. Then they move toward you, and then there's a mechanic tied to it, but it's so like really lax that you aren't really required much to think about it. It doesn't really push the envelope in terms of, all right, apply everything you know here. It's very easy to just like get in and get out. You're out of that in maybe 20 minutes.
I think what's important to note about these dungeons isn't the mechanics tied to them. You know how the rest of the game is like fully modeled and realized, and you feel like you're in a world?
Yeah, it felt like the impossible thing for most series to jump to.
Yes. The dungeons are made of like this one cube of a room that has several different slight changes they build it out of.
Yeah, one is a cube with red lines on it.
Yeah. And it's all boxed in, and it's...
Which Nocturne did, but it also had 25 other dungeons in it.
Yeah. It's kind of dire.
Let me tell you guys about the Caligula effect, too. Have you ever watched an old Hanna-Barbera? Have you ever watched Scooby-Doo? Like 70s Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
And they go running, and it's just obviously the same hallway, but like copy and pasted over and over again?
Yes.
That's the fictional dimension the Caligula Effect 2 takes place in. It's every single area is hallways of the... one of the first areas is like an underground shopping mall. It's the same store over and over in an endless series of hallways.
Oh, right. That's the game that's a PSP game.
Yes.
And it gets worse when you get into fights because like they take place on the map, but they create like the zone of dispersing the world. So like they create a big circle that eats the walls. So it looks even more budget because all the walls disappear and you're just standing in the void.
God. That's absurd. Okay, well, I'm going to hold on to my vote, and I'm going to think.
Okay.
Because I'm a responsible voter.
That's true.
I'm going to hear out the arguments as we continue. We'll go ahead and go to Bob next. Bob?
I'm going to throw it on Halo Infinite.
Okay.
Unlike most of these games, this game has a lot of money. There is no reason that you should go experience the story in repeated hallways.
Yeah.
There's sparkles. They'll tell you a story.
My next vote is going towards... Oh, man. We only get 3. This is actually tough.
Yeah, it is. These sound like pretty strong contenders.
I'll put it on Ys 9 because, oh my god, you literally just changed the colors on this zone I've already explored, and you're like, this is where fight happens now. And that's where most of your filler fights are.
So, okay, walk me through it.
Okay. You're in the open world. The big city. You walk up to a orb, and it's like, oh, you need to defend the zone from this orb. So then it just turns everything inverted colors in the city, and there's waves of enemies to fight. Or you have to go search around the zone for random collectibles while there are enemies attacking.
I did not expect Budget Dimension of the Year to send me as a category. Okay, thank you, Bob.
And I want to punch on Shin Megami Tensei, but we only have 3 votes, so I'm restraining myself because that's bad, but it's not as bad as Scarlet Nexus is. The final 3 hours of the game are literally we taped together levels from earlier in the game, and you play them all in a row.
Oh, so it's like the Chaos Realm from Aria of Sorrow, but in a 3D game.
Yeah, it is a lot like that with a different skybox. So yeah, I basically just like the.
Oh my god,
Chaos
yeah,
Realm.
That's intense.
It's bold. I'm like this.
It
this
is
game
bold for them to think that I want to do any more game.
Yeah, it comes in at a point where it's like you just need to end, please. I don't want to play 3 more hours.
Yeah, you go inside like a tomb-like cave, and then you're like, oh no, we're getting the memories of the main villain. Here's every area again.
It is awful.
But with forced villain motivation flashbacks.
It is
wow,
so bad. So yeah, those are my 3.
Okay, we're gonna move to Casey now.
Dungeons from Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even put them in. It's at that level where you go into these grand open world levels with a focus on verticality, out of reach places. The challenge is finding how to get to something. And they're like, here's this ancient temple you're gonna go into. And it's just we copy pasted the peacock horse everywhere. In a place that looks identical constantly. Or here's a dungeon. It's a straight line with 2 curves. and that was the moment where I'm like, oh my god. Oh no, it's one of these. When I'm like, oh man, the money ran out. Like really hard.
Sometimes you're just done. You don't know it yet, but you're done.
Yeah.
Like I was starting to go into cope mode just ever so slightly, where I'm like, I love this game a lot, but some parts are really upsetting me. so I'm gonna have to give it from that. I'm like, you didn't need dungeons here at all if you need to do like this. It's depowering some of your moments when some of these are this bad. The final stage in Scarlet Nexus is fucking terrible.
Yeah, that sounds rotten.
Terrible. You're walking down a hallway and are warped into You're walking down a hallway that is new.
Yeah,
it is a new hallway, and they warp you to old content.
The filler arc anime filler arc attacks you, and you have to play it.
Again,
I'm just fantasizing.
As I mentioned, filler
We're finally
recently.
gonna go to the last area. We're finally gonna go to the last area of the game, and then the bounce just appear and block your path.
It's basically that.
Oh no!
So I mentioned there was an arc in Yu-Gi-Oh where they're on a blimp and then they go to the virtual world. They're flying and they fly in to the virtual world. This happens in Scarlet Nexus where you walk in and you're suddenly like, do the ice level again. And I'm like, I don't want to do the ice level where you just spawn bombs. They're like, this guy's had a really sad past. And I'm like, you're the worst there ever was. but this game's going to hail you as a hero. I hate this so much. So I'm going to give that for Budget Dimension because it's like, really? You have nothing for the end?
Oopsie.
Just end the game a level early.
No.
Yeah, the whole thing has one unique boss fight. It's like, why didn't you just have a boss fight with those cutscenes around it? I don't know.
I'm stupid.
It's funny because there's like an area earlier on with some cool techno bridges and shit, and I'm like, oh man, you could maybe make this a late. No. Our final level will be old levels. How did this happen? How you do? Okay, thankfully I didn't play a chunk of these, so I can't really like measure them as much.
Okay.
The ocean.
Yeah.
The ocean makes so much sense. It's like, look at it. There's an ocean, and we're gonna put little play places everywhere.
It's like so this Mario add-on is going to be about Cat Bowser and Cat Mario. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Everybody loved that. Where's it take place? The ocean. Where the fuck are these cats in the ocean? Like
one of them gets huge and mad.
yeah, huge and mad. Furious, one might say.
Furious, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so biased here because I'm like, yeah, I like water, sure.
It's true. It's true. Bob's like water in a video game.
Nice water.
Okay. So we're going to move on to feel. Feel?
Caligula effect. The city with inverted colors from East 9.
That is the most like pathetic sounding one.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yes, that's pretty bad.
And Halo Infinite.
Okay. I feel like in Halo's case, it's confusing that they cross the two things you're not supposed to of really important plot stuff and the budget dimension.
See, I didn't vote for that
They
one
couldn't
'cause
put it in the open world.
I didn't vote for that one because I think it's the whole fucking game, and I just can't. I can't think about it.
Yeah, but there's also, it's like between the open world segment, it's like, okay, go underground so you forget what day it is. You're confused when you come up and see daylight.
I just wanted that game to end.
So I'm gonna tabulate this and sort these just so we can get a look at how the votes turned out. I still have my third vote I haven't spent so far. Feel, can you bring me a video of this fictional dimension that Caligula Effect 2 occurs in? Because your description of this makes it sound like a real winner. And it was this moment when I went, wait, how many JRPGs have a fucking budget dimension? I think 2/3 of this category is JRPGs.
Yeah.
Bowser's Fury and Halo Infinite are like, hey, it's important to have representation in every category. And then they high five.
Let me try and find a good video. Just click around in here.
Okay. One moment.
Keep in mind, I was in this section of game for 3 hours.
Looks like it's just tile.
Bob, this looks like that action game that you had on Steam that was like a budget indie game from Japan.
Oh, are you talking about the agent something?
Yes.
Assault Spy?
Yes.
Assault Spy is 1,000,000 times more high rent than this.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's troubling. Yeah, I see what you're talking about here, where it's just a lot of really similar.
Did they get this area off the Unity asset store?
Dude, it's a Japanese like
It'd
subway
be
terminal.
higher res.
If you make this shit look ugly, it just looks like that level from Scarlet Nexus. But apparently, this is where everything is, so it's even worse.
Oh,
I'm sure that at some point you go into the school and it's just endless lockers.
Oh, thank God!
Because that was in the first game. You can also see the really great character models.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really good. God. Okay. Shouldn't look at those too long. I am gonna go ahead and give my third vote to Scarlet Nexus's final stage.
Yeah.
Because hearing the description that it's like the realm of chaos in Aria of Sorrow with the amount of you go down a hallway and it leads you to these other places you've already been to do more content when it's just like we could have ended it sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really put it in the most demoralizing way.
Yeah. You're going into a tomb, and they're like, "Oh, his memories are like flowing in." It's like, here's this area. It's orange tinted now.
Ooh.
Go through this area. And then you come out and they're like, we lost reception with you, or some shit like that. It's real.
Yeah, I feel like in my head there's a way that the Ys 9 thing isn't just the worst, but in no way can I imagine. I've looked at 100 different timelines.
It's like if you went through the Chaos Realm and then every like 10 minutes they forced you into an anime RPG talk scene that explained why you should feel bad for the bad guy.
Great. So currently what the ranking looks like is first and second are tied between Halo Infinite, Scarlet Nexus' final stage. Then we have a two-way tie for third place and runner-up between The City, but with inverted colors, from Ys 9, and The Ocean from Bowser's Fury. Does that lineup sound correct to everyone? Because it sounds right to me.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah. Sure, I'll take it.
Okay, let's vote between third place and runner-up. One vote each. Vote between City, but with inverted colors, and The Ocean. Bob.
Ys 9, because oh man,
Yeah.
I can't fast travel and skip these. I have to play them.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
The ocean exists for a reason other than a wallet with a moth coming out of it.
Yes. In the ocean, there's also something fun I can do. Like I can ride around, do those missions, those Plessy, where you go through the obstacle course.
I can ride on Plessy. God's biggest mistake.
I love Plessy. Plessy rules.
Feel.
East 9, the city with inverted colors.
KZ.
It's so bad.
I'm gonna say this the City, but with inverted colors, because Bowser's Fury doesn't have a dark ocean.
That would be so good, though.
I know, but unfortunately it doesn't. So there's no like matching thing here. It's just the ocean.
I understand the argument for The City, but with inverted colors, and I don't feel strongly about the ocean to raise it above runner-up. So I will side with the Ys 9 heads. So there we go. Definitive third place for that. Let's decide between first and second between Scarlet Nexus' final stage and Halo Infinite. We'll let Feel start.
Halo. Scarlet Nexus is like a mid Bamco anime game. Halo is Halo.
Yeah. I get it. Bob.
Halo, Jesus. What are you doing? That's the whole game. It's not just the end. That's the whole game.
KZ.
Halo, that's a AAA game.
It's fucking unanimous.
Scarlet Nexus is a AA game that Microsoft was pretending was bigger than it was by showing it constantly and making a live action trailer for it.
Well, unanimously, we've decided Halo Infinite takes first place, which means budget dimension of 2021. The ranking goes: The Ocean from Bowser's Fury is runner-up. The City, but with inverted colors from Ys 9 in third place. Scarlet Nexus' final stage in second place, and first place goes to Halo Infinite. Thank you very much to our nominees. How frugal.
How do you save all its money? It's a mystery.
It sounds like Halo Infinite saved, what, $85 million?
Is it saving if you spend it and then throw it away?
Oh,
I don't know.
damn.
Moving on to the next category, worst character.
Oh, no! Oh,
God.
Hold up!
This is going to be strong. This is going to be a strong.
I'm looking away.
Okay. Here are the nominees. Balan from Balan Wonderworld. Cody from It Takes Two. Dr. Hakim from It Takes Two. Escharum from Halo Infinite. Everyone in Riders Republic. Far Cry 6's Zoomer Cult. Haha, which one? That's the joke. This is all written in.
By Dan.
Ichiro Dazai from Shin Megami Tensei 5. Kaito Sumeragi from Scarlet Nexus. Kasane Randall from Scarlet Nexus. That kid who was sad he wasn't that kid who was sad he wasn't instantly an aeronautical engineer from Balan Wonderworld. The pilot from Halo Infinite. the weapon from Halo Infinite. Wow, can you believe those two were alphabetically right next to each other?
Oh, how fortunate.
Tepe from Genshin Impact.
This might be our best category this year.
Honestly, I'm going to say most of these people deserve to get it.
I'm so glad that you got to play some It Takes Two before this set.
We have 13 nominees. We get 6 votes. It's like getting $1 million dropped off at the mall.
Yeah, it really is.
We're going to go ahead and start with Feel.
Thank you. The pilot, the weapon, Escharam.
Okay, yeah.
Holy crew.
There we go.
Tepe in Genshin Impact, because I was stunned at what a pathetic nothing character they desperately want to sell me on and make me upset for. When I'm like, I don't give a shit about this guy at all. Not even a little bit.
But he had such a great story. He came into his own and then killed himself with drugs or something. I don't know.
What? God.
Okay, here's Tepe.
Son of a
So
bitch.
you go to Inazuma, you go to Genshin Japan.
Uh-huh.
And in Genshin, there's these things called visions, which are like magical jewels that the gods bestow on you, and they're what gives all the playable characters their powers. The Raiden Shogun started the vision hunt, like the sword hunt from, fucking feudal Japan. So they do the vision hunt and steal all of them, and there's like a rebel faction fighting against the vision hunt, and Tepe is a soldier for the rebellion. So the villain, the Scaramouche, the racist femboy, he starts giving members of the rebellion delusions, which are like fake visions that his evil god makes that give you powers but kill you. So Tepe gets one and really desperately wants to be a big cool hero man. So he uses it repeatedly, which makes him age really fast, and then he dies off screen. But you never see him use it. Because he's just a generic NPC model. So he'll be like, yeah, I gotta go use my powers on this mission, and then walks away. But he's in a total of like 4 quests total. So you go through the entire arc of, wow, I wish I'd be a cool hero man. Oh, I got this thing that lets me be a cool hero man. Oh, it makes me age. Oh, I'm dead. In the span of 20 minutes.
Holy shit. That's fucking hilarious.
And your main character is so mad about this character being manipulated and dying that he like gets rage poisoning when he's about to fight Scaramouche and
Rage
faints.
poisoning.
I didn't play all these quests at one feel, so I thought there was more time, but I guess I just put the game down and didn't play story missions for like a month. I was like, yeah, I'm in tune with Tepe here. He's clearly been having a tough time over this whole month.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I did it all at once, so it's like nothing.
Also, I'm just going to put this out there right now. If his name is Scaramouche, the evil Fenboy, he should have been in Best Named Character. If that's his full name.
If he's playable next year.
Oh, okay. See, I could have put what is that bitch's fucking name? They added a new boss this year, and she has like an unbelievably long, funny name. What is it? Rosalind Krushka Lofaltir, the Crimson Witch of Flames.
Holy Christ. That would have given Frog King a run for his money.
She has a title card too.
Jesus.
Here, I'll pull it. I'll just post it because they did.
Look, this goes hard.
Jesus. Okay.
So let's see. Those 4. Balan, because the conceit of his game is insane.
Yeah.
The conceit of Balan Wonderworld is that when somebody undergoes trauma, they get spirited away to the Balan Theater and have to perform in a play about their trauma until they get over it.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that's the plot. But some of the traumas are like I thought a car was about to hit my cat, but it didn't actually. But between realizing it didn't, but between thinking it was going to get hit and it not getting hit, you get sucked into the Bland Theater.
That is so dire.
So it's like a frame one infinite reversal.
Yeah.
It's like a frame one invincible reversal.
Yeah, dude goes to check out at a fucking grocery store and it's like, sir, I think it rejected your card. And you instantly get whisked away.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you get
It's
to
like-
try again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
just the idea where there's a range of ones of like, this girl swimming with a dolphin and the dolphin accidentally beats the shit out of her, makes her almost drown, and she's crying in a hospital bed. Juxtaposed with this one where it's like, here's this trauma. What's the resolution? She saw the rest of the cutscene. Like nothing changed. It's like you didn't change as a person.
Yeah.
Like the one dude in this who loses at a game of chess and then loses his wife and fucking starts drinking.
Jesus Christ.
God.
and the last one, Cody. Cody sucks. Have you ever watched like a romantic comedy from the early aughts or the 90s where like the guy's a big fuck up. He's played by Seth Rogen or someone with Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen a Seth Rogen movie. Yes.
Yeah.
But there's like the moment where he gets his shit together in a montage.
Yeah.
So you can think that this girl isn't settling. Cody's like if that character didn't have a getting it together montage.
That's correct. Yes.
So Cody, fuck him.
Thank you, Phil. I'll go ahead and go next.
Okay.
The pilot and the weapon.
Ding.
I will
So
go ahead
bad.
and maybe put Heshram on the back burner.
I'll think about it.
I'll think about it. So here's the problem with Far Cry 6's Zoomer cult.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, there is an actual division of Far Cry 6, an area of the map that is dedicated to the concept of these are the Zoomers and they hate the Boomers. Okay? That's this
Okay.
whole part of the game's plot. The new guard versus the old guard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even fucking talking about them. There's a cult out there that's even more Zoomer than the Zoomer cult in that part of the game. So there's this entire part of the game, Bob, in Far Cry 6 where you're supposed to assist these people as they dab literally on the institution on top of one of the government buildings
Oh, that's cringe.
while they play a concert to nobody and you defend them from like a dozen jeeps and tanks.
What?
So they can finish their live streamed concert where they dab on the man.
Oh,
Like the concept here is we need these groups for different reasons. There's the old people,
Yeah.
that were in the previous revolution. We have the new class that are like doing it, but they're also crazy and really fucking stupid.
Yes.
But then you have these where it's like they can do the revolutionary zines and songs and stuff to really motivate people to join. And they are the worst.
They really are the worst.
They are in fact the worst one because barely anything bad happens to them either. They don't really go through much of an arc. I feel like
they feign going through an arc for one part, and it's just like, the bad guy talked to this dude into trying to kill himself, and I'm like, wait, what?
yeah. It's
Is this a Mass Effect game? Does he have psychic control over my ally?
Yeah, it's this entire part with the guy who doesn't really do much and is just the comic relief fat guy.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of anything the plot did in that entire part of the continent. It's so bad over there.
Yeah, it's really bad. That defend section is really terrible and is maybe 6 or 7 minutes long. They do a song, they're like, we're going to do another. And I'm like, I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, it's really weird because I think they were the last section of the entire map I did. In every area, you could palpably see how they would help you overthrow Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, this is like the ultimate like support one where maybe useful people will want to assist you after hearing these sick tracks.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
the only
biggest
hope you
fucking
have.
stretch in human history, and I'm just
Jesus.
like, and the worst part is every moment you're helping with them it doesn't really feel like when it's legitimately you're helping them against the man instead of you're literally trying to go save them from themselves. Which, you know, it feels like that. It feels like you're hanging out with your friend who drinks too hard and gets you in trouble with the cops and shit. And it's like, we're not successfully overthrowing the government here. I'm trying to keep your ass from getting arrested, is how most of it feels.
Dan, I don't even remember what the boss of that zone is.
I think the thing I described was basically the boss of that zone.
Okay, so you don't even take out a major figurehead of
I'm trying to remember.
Anton Castillo.
Yeah, I don't think you actually take out.
That's insane, because you get like that first one where you fight the hyper scrawny military looking dude.
Yeah.
Who is just a bad boss fight where he's on a helicopter with 8 million health. And then the other ones have their own form of like.
Yeah, they do interesting world stuff where it's like, remember when you take the tour of the cancer solving plant, right?
Yeah.
And you're supposed to keep shit together, and then that doesn't work out.
Yeah, like there's one like you infiltrate like one of the propaganda like TV show stations. Like you do like the tour there at the end, and then you take down someone who's like who like does the TV broadcast stuff. Or
yeah, there's also the Canadian capitalist who's funny as hell because he's a piece of human garbage.
Yeah, he's the funniest character in that game, and I'm like, this is good.
I'm like, you're literal trash, but I'm going to nominate this division of this continent that's my allies because they made this part of the game really suck.
Like, you lost it on like his first like introductory line that goes into his title card. Like, it was really good.
Yeah, no, he's a piece of trash.
Yeah, he's exactly what I would expect from this type of game. But yeah.
I'm here to facilitate an uprising against Giancarlo. Or as he's known in the game, some other name.
Anton Castillo.
Sure. This entire part of the game is ruined by them not having a good idea of how to do that. They're just like, when our stream gets out there, it'll inspire everyone to do an uprising. And then the song for this moment is original. It's an original song that they perform on the top of this building, rapping about being gorillas. It's really terrible, and I hate that part of the game. There's some character stuff in there that might have worked, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't. Yeah, looking at the rest of this then. Bob, did you nominate everyone in Riders Republic?
Yeah, I did.
What is wrong with everyone in Riders Republic?
You know how you describe them? Yeah, the whole game is just that.
Yeah, I watched like 2 cutscenes. He's right.
Man.
Yeah, it's really dire.
An entire game where everyone is in Burning Man.
You know what? There, I just voted for it. Just the thought there's more of that out there, and it's from the same fucking company makes me very upset.
And they came out within like 2 months of each other.
I know, right? I'm actually gonna vote for Dr. Hakim over Cody.
Ooh.
Reason being, Dr. Hakim's face is horrifying, and I hate him.
That's fair. Like, his arms come out of the top of his head. That's really disconcerting.
And it's
he sounds like this.
And it's just Phil doing that voice.
It's really dire.
It's really dire because it's like, you need to work together to solve the problem. And we're like, okay, we're going to work together to solve the problem. He's like, I'm going to write you up to the police. And I'm like, wait, why would you do that, Gabe?
I hate you.
Cody, you need to let someone else fuck your wife. It takes 3.
And then he disappears.
Now he's turned into that guy from Mega 64.
It's real bad. I'm not a fan of him. And let's see. That should leave me. One moment. We're doing some math. Yes, that is right. That leaves me one more vote. I'm going to give it to Asher.
Oh, there he is. I was wondering if someone could sell you on something.
Man, Escher should have been a lot more.
Yeah.
And you could tell there's nothing going on there the whole way you're making your way into his facility. The whole time he's just like, we're so cool, you should go away.
He honestly reminds me of the villain that I lost from Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
Because they both have the thing where it's like, a hologram of me is going to yell at you and you can just walk past me and not even listen to the hologram.
Yeah. God.
God, that's nuts.
And they feel like similarly fleshed out and important, by which I mean not at all.
He has that extra debuff where it's like, I'm the replacement for the guy who's literally me, but people care about. You actually beat Master Chief.
Yeah, you're talking about Atriox, right? Yeah, it's pretty bad when you see Atriox and then you see Eshram and you go, are you the same guy? Why do you have a weird breathing problem right now? Yeah, it's not great. So yes, half my votes are for Halo Infinite. But hey Bob.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Sure.
Okay.
I go ahead and put votes on the pilot, the weapon, and Asheram.
Damn it. This is so bad.
It's terrible.
I don't think there's ever been a year this bad where it's just like this game has given us such bad.
I'm gonna call out Kaito Sumeragi.
Tell me all about it.
Yeah.
From Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah, Scarlet Nexus. Kaito is the main character, Yuito Sumeragi's brother.
Okay. So he's my bro.
Yeah, he's your brother. Mm-hmm. They act like, oh yeah, it's just a regular family thing. We don't stay in touch much, but we're definitely like, we're brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then halfway through the story, you realize that he's the one who brainwashes your best friend and orders him to kill you. Also, he's in charge of the brainwashing program, so he's brainwashing literally everyone to send after you. And the brainwashing kills your friend. Like, it does. You don't even fight him to kill him. The brainwashing just does it.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's essentially like at the highest point in the cop organization.
Yes.
So he'll give you like emails of good job. It's like very distant, short messages.
And
yeah.
What makes this even worse is when you go and confront him, and he acts like it's ridiculous that you would be fighting him after he did that thing where he murdered your friend.
What a great game.
And then you just move on. You don't kill him. You just give over it. It's like, what do you mean? Yeah, and he's my brother, so I shouldn't kill him. It's really dire. It's absolutely the worst.
But we're family. We're family.
When you're here, you're family.
And they do the same thing to his dad, but at least his dad dies in the story naturally. So all of this bad stuff just gets moved down to the brother.
Oh.
It's like, guys, how do you not write this hard?
Unfortunately, the death of the dad leads to another really terrible character being terrible.
So, Bob, that's Kaito, huh?
Yeah, that's Kaito.
What a cool dude.
What a cool dude. If he could just own being the villain, I'd be way more fine with him.
Yeah.
But that he acts like indignant and like, what do you mean? Why would you go against me after trying to murder you many times? Is absurd.
And there's no comeuppance here.
I'm gonna also vote for Kasane Randall.
Okay.
Why would you ever do that?
She's the one who, for like 5 or whatever hours straight, will not talk to the main character, and thus we just cannot progress the story.
She is the second main character.
Man, you're
Yes.
telling me that's why I nominated this for worst plot twist? Like,
Yeah.
that's why I voted for it? Maybe I should change my vote in this category.
Yeah, she's dire.
All right.
God, there's so many. We were so rich for choices this year.
Yeah, for sure. And you only have one more vote
I know.
because Scarlet Nexus took almost half of it, and Halo Infinite took literally half of it.
Bob,
What's up?
I assume you wrote in Ichiro Dazai.
Yes.
Can you explain to me why you wrote him in? You don't have to vote for him, of course.
Right.
He completely sucks in as a cop. This dude is like, I want my mommy to tell me what to do because I can't make choices. I mean, it's really hard to make a choice.
Yeah, no,
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for him because he sucks.
Is he the law cuck
Yes,
of the game?
he is the lockhuck of the game.
Which is really funny because you look at him and he's the comedic character.
And he's that for a little while, and then it's just like, oh no, I pooped my pants.
I just wasn't able to get over the fact that his character model makes him go, he's a high schooler that looks 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I'm not surprised when
Yeah.
it does. I'm like, yeah, I've watched you. All those guys look like they're 30
Yeah.
to 45.
Yeah.
Those cheekbones make him look ancient.
Yeah. Okay, Bob.
He just looks white.
That's your 6th. Didn't last long, did it?
No.
Then burned through that $1 million fast. We're going to move to KZ.
Dr. Hakim from It Takes Two. When I played this with my friend Nep in one sitting, every time he showed up, we're like, oh my fucking god, here he is again. Fucking this guy sucks so bad.
He does.
His face is horrible with his collective 5 teeth. His accent just is uncomfortable. It's just really uncomfortable, and the entire time we're like, can we please have a reason to just fight him?
Can we
Like-
just tear him in half? It would take 2.
like I think that was on the list of things we wanted alongside the game, hopefully ending with a battle for custody of the child.
See, I was just hoping that the child was dead years ago, and its ghost was haunting you.
Okay. Housemark, huh? Yeah, I gotta go with Dr. Hakim. I'm not gonna vote for Cody, because I feel like Dr. Hakim is enough.
Okay.
He's pretty terrible. Ichiro Dazai. I'm gonna go for it. There's a part of me in late game where I'm like, arguably, I can understand the motivations here. Some people can just get indoctrinated very easily when they're dipshits that are indecisive all the time. But he just kind of really sucks. He's one of the characters that I feel like gets the most work in the supporting cast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really funny that it's that. And I will abstain from other things because he does have one moment that I need to write in to a future nominee. a future category that may involve really dumb shit.
Okay.
Okay, that was like 2.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you put in the fucking kid who was sad he wasn't instantly an aeronautical engineer in Bland Wonderworld. He described the cutscene that knocks him into the Bland Theater.
Yeah, that was his trauma, is that he wanted to build a plane, but he wasn't good at it instantly.
God.
And so he just gets knocked in there, and then he.
I should have put Yuji Naka on this list.
He's a real character.
And then feels what in my stream, and he's like, "Fuck this kid! How does he have a hanger?"
God.
Beland's really bad. Like, he's honestly really, really rough. The thing that he does to these children is fucked up, and adults, I guess, because he doesn't really discriminate. Toward the end, when he finally cries and reveals that every single crystal you collect in the game that is like a coin is his tears, that kind of killed me. Where I'm like,
I forgot that element of it.
He cries, and it finally becomes the coins you've been collecting thousands of in the entire game, for the really terrible chow element that game has, where you feed them to the little scrimblow things. So yeah, I definitely have to go for that. Kasane Randall's real bad. I'm gonna vote for her next. You fight her 3 or 4 times in Yuito's campaign, and nothing is achieved in any of them.
I'm sure she would explain to you why she's not terrible.
No,
But she can't.
No, she decided that she has to kill you, and anytime her friends say that doesn't seem smart, she's like, gotta do it. It's like, this doesn't make sense. She's like, I know, I'm gonna still do it.
Cool.
Like, her character got worse playing her side, which I did not expect. I'm like, that is inconceivable.
Yeah.
That's not how those are supposed to work. I'm supposed to see the perspective when you do different routes in a game, but no, apparently not. I'm gonna nominate a Halo Infinite character. I'm gonna pick Escherum.
Okay.
He is the fucking worst of these 3.
No.
It's no fucking contest. The others are like, okay, whatever. Like I can't say I really understood that much of the seething hatred for either of them, to be quite honest.
Dude, when you hit the ending in the pilot, it's like, ooh, what do we do next? I'm so excited. I'm like, you just got out of a torture chamber. You have been a stick in the mud the whole game. Why did the torture chamber make you more happy about doing this?
Yeah, the pilot's literally stick in the mud man. Like, he's every moment
like
you try and be
weird,
happy, it's like, hey, no, never.
The weird, pissy, passive aggression of both of them is way worse to me than Eshiram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, nothing is worse in a game than having a side character who just hangs around to be a little bitch to you.
Yeah, and then they start teaming up once the weapon's like, yeah, he tried to delete me. And then the pilot's like, what, Master Chief? Why'd you do that?
God, that entire arc of like, why did you try to delete me? It's like, yeah, your whole programming says you should be deleted and you want to be deleted. Why are we having this argument? You literally became a South Park character.
Yeah, but now she wasn't deleted anymore, so now she has to be upset about it. This game has to have an arc. I don't know. I guess I would put the weapon over the pilot. I don't really have that much of a problem with the pilot.
You know, if that last cutscene of the game didn't happen, I wouldn't hate him at the magnitude that I do. But him just being way too happy to go on another adventure with Master Chief made me hate him so much. Where I'm like, what?
Yeah,
This isn't you. This hasn't been you this whole time. So,
like him being a stick in the mud, I'm like, I kind of understand his situation, so I don't have too much of a problem with it. I'm like, yeah, I would also want to get out.
yeah.
I want to go home and wait for the universe to end.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, that's the pilot.
I would be like, yes, I'm gonna leave. So I totally empathize with that when, given that he's not even a soldier, he's just some fucking maintenance guy.
So you want to change from Mushroom to the weapon?
No, I was just saying I understand it. I'm still only picking Eshram because every single scene he's in is terrible and is basically like a 0 for me. He is mugging to the camera going, I'm strong. The next thing you fight will be strong. Never mind, that wasn't strong.
That was diet strong.
We are strong. The last section, I'll show you our training course of strong 3 times.
I'll show you our literal sandbox.
Like, everything he does is the most generic thing I've ever seen. You get more depth from a 3D platformer bad guy.
Yeah, of course.
Than you get from this guy, and I'm like,
yeah, because they can't write.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really bad.
I know.
It's really fucking bad.
Yeah, but it's not even an attempt to be like bad. Like it's like not like bad hyper detailed writing. It's just we're making the most basic thing ever. Like not even an attempt to make something ridiculous. I was just kind of shocked.
Okay, so that's all your votes?
I've got one left. I'm looking through here, and I was thinking about doing the Zoomer cult, but since apparently an entire cast of characters is that, I'm going to have to pick everyone in Riders Republic.
That's really unfortunate. The mass, the sheer quantity wins out. Plus, there's
no break.
There's like one character in the Zoomer cult who has an interesting through line about how after the revolution is over, that person will still not be accepted by their fellow man. And I doubt anyone in Riders Republic has that. So I think you're right on that one, Casey.
Yeah.
I'm going to tabulate this real quick. God, there's so many nominees.
Yeah.
This is what we get for getting good soundtracks this year. We also get this. Oh, man. Okay. So let's see. We've got a top 3 that's just Halo Infinite. And then we've got a 5-way tie for runner-up. Jesus.
That's not fair.
I mean, no, it's not. Most games.
This is not fair. This is reverse 13 Sentinels.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, most
Yeah,
games can't
that's
write.
what they made.
Most games come out and they don't have one character bad enough to hit this list. Somehow, Halo Infinite came out and had 3 characters so bad as to hit this list, and that's most of the characters in the game.
Yeah, we've nominated the entire cast.
Basically, like who's left? Atriox, Cortana.
Atriox, Cortana, who that barely counts.
Yeah,
And neither of them are really in the game.
And the Harbinger.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that existed.
Yeah, the Harbinger, I keep thinking about it like, yeah, you're core to a plot that should have taken off and done some things instead of all of the rest of this.
If we want to count active participants, there were 2 left, the Harbinger and Master Chief.
Believe me, I thought about nominating Master Chief because the whole speech where he explains
I would
he
not
respects,
have been able to handle it.
he respects the person who tortured the fucking pilot.
That's
He was just a soldier
He was a soldier.
doing what he believed was right.
what?
They have no idea how to write this guy.
No, they don't.
If you put a gun to my head and said, "Feel, what are the stakes of Halo Infinite?" I wouldn't like if it like what what are the stakes at Halo Infinite? What is Escharam trying to achieve? I'd be like,
He's going to fire that Halo once he gets it online.
I think the Endless.
Is he?
I don't know.
I mean, he wasn't trying to get to the Endless, but the
Yeah.
Harbinger was.
Yeah, the
and he was helping her.
Yeah, the Harbinger was working with him. It's like, no, trust me, this stuff I'm doing is going to be really great. He's like, okay, I'm strong.
smart and
I'm
just
strong.
going to do whatever you say is a good idea, but I'm not going to trust you while I do it.
Yes, please work on this project, Jafar.
So this is a really interesting situation.
I guess we just start voting for Halo.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
This is fucking nuts. Oh man, somebody shades of gray.
You got off easy, Dr. Hakim.
Yeah, you fucking did. You're lucky you came out in 2021. Bastard.
Fucking stupid ass book. Hey.
Oh man. Okay, here we go. 2 votes each between Escharam the pilot and the weapon. We're not even gonna worry about fucking runner up.
Sure, okay.
We'll start with KZ.
Escharam, because
Okay.
he sucks. The weapon, I died to one of the bosses, so I heard her lines like 15 times, so I hate her more through that.
I mean, her lines are never good.
She's just too quirky. It's horrible.
There-
She's
there-
got a joke for everything, and I want to kill her.
When they make you fight the Monitor again,
Uh-huh.
he summons ads.
Yeah.
And she goes, look, he's calling friends. He has friends. He has friends. I heard that 15 times. The only time I won is when I took my headphones off.
She also has a really good line where she's like, man, everyone really is out to get you, huh? Or like, this isn't funny.
Okay, the only bit I liked between those two is when they're like, we should name it this. Why that? Here's my other name. Okay, we'll just go with the original one that's not quirky and stupid.
We're going to go to Feel next.
the pilot. There's just something about like the tone where he's like almost poking Chief's chest as he screams. It's like, oh, I fucking hate you. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have that I'm an angry customer feel,
Oh, yeah.
which is
100%.
Yes.
always the worst.
100%. He doesn't want to wait in line.
Also, how little he makes sense in the plot of this game where you're rescuing Marines constantly. It's like, replace him. But no, those Marines aren't real.
We have 300 unnamed Marines who seem thrilled to fight with Master Chief, but we're stuck with the pilot for some reason.
You found Chief first, so Chief is like, okay, I'm your Pokemon
Okay,
now.
I'm soulbound to you. Doom, doom. Feels doing some soul searching.
I get 2? Is that it? Is that what
Yeah.
we're doing?
Yes.
Well, Escharam's so fucking bad. Fuck him.
I mean, the core bad guy of your video game should probably not fucking suck.
Like I don't know what his goal is. I don't know why he wants to do whatever the fuck he wants to do, because you skipped the game where his motivation would happen. It's like, okay, Cortana blew up his planet and humans made Cortana. So even though humans destroyed Cortana, he wants to commit genocide against the humans, which is the closest I can get to the plot of that game, and which makes Master Chief's thing really stupid.
Yeah.
He might be the worst part of that reveal trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Where they showed the gameplay and then they just did a minute and a half of him doing that. I'm like, this is terrible, but maybe they'll make him better later.
That's what they said, too.
and then they Control C, Control V for the whole game.
Yeah, the fact that that part of the game is literally 3 of that moment in a row. Remember? That part of
Yeah,
Halo
it
Infinite is the E3 thing 3 times in a row. You go in a tower, he baits you. You then need to escape that tower.
And then the 4th time it happens, she's like, oh, he didn't show up. I'm
Yep.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Very
thought,
funny.
yeah.
Bob.
The pilot and the weapon, they're both always with you and they never stop.
It's like having 2 sticks stuck up your ass.
Yeah, it's really dire. I'm like, Eshram is terrible, and obviously for everything you guys have said.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Completely agree. The bad guy of your game should have a motive. These guys are constantly talking to you, and they're always the worst. They never add anything I like remotely even at all.
There's also that really horrible scene where they like hyper zoom in on the weapon's teeth. Like when she's like, please delete me. And I'm like, this is the most like depressingly ugly scene I think I've seen in a AAA game in a while.
Oh boy.
Oh, God, and her whole arc of being a Cortana replacement is just real dire, because you could see the entire thing play out before it does. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know you were doing that. Please
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, when your plot twist is she's clearly a Halsey-based AI, and it's like, no way. Whoa. Okay, I guess I'll vote. I think it's the pilot of the weapon. I thought the pilot was going to have an arc. Him snapping to be Mr. Positivity at the end of the game for their final, the game's over, let's have more and fun adventures, is not an arc. You don't get to come out of being tortured, watch Master Chief go through a big fight and lose him for 3 days and then be a completely different person. You need to have a reason that happened. And the weapon, everything that's core to her, like, why is she called the weapon? What is she created for? What is she going to do? What is the emotional arc she has? Like, it's not well designed. It's just so many different elements of, you know, Bob, the whole thing you were saying of like, she was designed to be deleted. She even asks for it, senpai, and then it doesn't happen. And then she gets angry that she was almost deleted.
Yeah, when she has that move swing moment, if that didn't happen, I would not vote for her.
Well, there's multiple other things that are like that just with her, where
Yeah.
it's like, Chief, why didn't you trust Cortana? Why did you trust Cortana? I'm an AI too. Do you trust me? You shouldn't trust me. Like, I feel like multiple parts of her plot line and things around her are like that,
Yeah.
which is why I hate her.
Yeah, I didn't remember her saying you shouldn't trust me, but I remember her asking, you need to trust me and we're a team like 5 or 6 times before the delete scene happens, and then it explodes.
There's so much.
Yeah. In the pilot's defense,
Uh-huh.
you keep mentioning that he got tortured and the next thing he does is happy-go-lucky. That is not true. There's at least one scene where he's like, oh, that fucking hurt. And then you go into the final mission and he gives you like this, for the first time, he's not actually sad the whole time. He's like, all right, I'll bring back up if needed. Make sure you get through this, that type of thing. He doesn't immediately shift.
So when he exits the chamber and he goes, hey, does anyone remember where I parked?
Okay. That's different. That's entirely different from the one.
And then the very next scene where he's not super positive in the scene where you're entering the final level. Like he's assisting with the operation.
Yeah, like he's assisting and he's not providing any like resistance, and it feels it's continuing off where he was, because in the halfway point he gets that talk.
There's a man who's been a stick in the mud the entire fucking game, and the moment he gets out of the torture chamber, he somehow doesn't explode then. He explodes on Master Chief every 10 seconds for the rest of the game of like, no, we are not doubling down on this shit. Fuck you. Somehow he gets captured and tortured, and he doesn't have that talk again. And he just goes, well, where did I park, guys? And then they start the next mission, which is whatever. And then there's the ending where he's literally going, oh boy! And he's like dancing practically in that final cutscene. I'm like, what is going on with him? I don't understand.
Yeah, I was just pointing it out for the average person going, does Dan just not remember certain scenes in this game at all in the order in which they appear?
No, I just think he was not an important part of the intro of the final level. Like, he doesn't have anything meaningful to say to you in that moment. He doesn't have, I am stick in the mud or anything else. He just has some ancillary dialogue that doesn't really matter all that much.
I would say that's most of the game for all dialogue.
Sure, but when his arc is, I'm really a stick in the mud and I'm pissed at you, Chief, and I just want to get out. And the first thing he does after getting out of a torture chamber where a gravity well is tearing him apart is make a joke about where he parked, basically. I feel like between that and the ending cutscene where he's super excited to go on more adventures with Master Chief, I just really do not like this man.
Yeah, I guess I would agree with you if we didn't have that scene that's like halfway in where he mellows out a little bit after he has that conversation with Chief. Like, if that didn't exist and he really goes from being terrible and acting that way the whole time to getting captured and that, I would probably be like, yeah, that does seem weird.
Which one's the one where he mellows out?
The where he has that moment where he finally breaks down in a more natural way, and then Chief says a couple of things, and he's like, okay, I need to calm down, and then they move on from that, and then you do a set of missions that are in the interior.
I mean, I do recall him being like, I'm a dipshit coward who literally stole a ship to escape. I remember that talk after the Spartan Killers. I don't remember it being like Master Chief's like, it's okay, you can suck. And then he was like, okay, you're right.
Yeah, it's just that's what that scene's about.
It didn't really feel that way. It just felt like the scene ended because it wasn't done.
I mean,
sure.
I feel
Like they just walk off. Nothing feels resolved or really changed after that. It's just now we know why he's like this, but he didn't feel like he was going to stop.
Yeah,
I didn't get
because that doesn't put him nothing in that scene really. Having gone through it twice, nothing in that scene really made me think, now that Master Chief has told him it's okay to be a coward, he's okay with going on more adventures. Like, nothing made him turn to Master Chief's cause in that moment. Nothing made him brave or understand the scope.
Yeah, I'm not even saying it made him brave. I'm saying it's just it's this thing that made him like sit back for a minute and like gain a little bit of a perspective and kind of accept that they're not going to be running at some point, and he's gonna fuck up a bunch. It's not the end of the world, that type of thing. I'm not saying the character is good,
right?
I'm just saying that I'm just trying to describe at least some of what's here, given that we didn't entirely say certain parts. It's not an immediate just whiplash of he hates everything, and then he's doing a quip in a following cutscene.
So the voting is tied on the pilot and the weapon, and Eshram has 2 votes. I'm okay with Eshram being third. How does everyone else feel?
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
KZ.
Everyone else is fine with it, so I guess it's fine.
Okay. I am personally rather torn on these other 2. I would like to hear other people's perspective on which one they think should be in first. Is everyone really torn on these 2?
A little bit.
Okay.
The weapon, I dislike the pilot more, but the they both kind of like turn into the quirky crew at the end, where like they have to be Master Chief's new sidekicks, so they're both sort of lobotomized to fit that role.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least at no point do I think the weapon was like the weapon is here to win whatever.
Yeah.
You know, once she gets over the crisis of not being deleted.
You know,
What's up, Bob?
I'm gonna put more into the pilot, because the game constantly tries to sell us on how important he is. In the whole intro is about him, and we're supposed to care about him and his family back home, and it doesn't ring like it's not done well enough for me to care.
I don't think any of it lands, no.
Yeah, it doesn't land. It's got way too much emphasis. And like I said, his story doesn't make any sense with the game they made, where you're finding Marines everywhere who can all pilot Pelicans. It's literally something that's clearly left over from an old build of the game. Didn't work with what they went with gameplay-wise, and they went with it anyway.
It is extremely weird that you can get all these NPC guys, but then also tries to treat it like, no, you're the only ones here, and it can be nobody else.
Yeah, there's so many things about Halo Infinite that just are strange.
Yeah.
Just really strange in the exact same way you two just described that as. I mean, from that one E3 trailer, you would assume, yeah, we were going to see more of, and you know, this is the intro, so it's still in the game. But you would assume we would get to see a little bit more of the pilot history.
Uh-huh.
But this game really is about not showing anything that's, you know, remotely in the past.
No.
We have to tell you, or it shows up on the projector. So you both are feeling the pilot more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't love the weapon, but I think I side with the pilot more as well. Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't love the weapon. It's fucking up here in the fucking worst character.
Right.
Like,
all of these are bad.
Obviously no one loves any of these characters.
It's like this is the perfect combo of we made the worst possible cast.
It would really help us discern this if these weren't all people from the same game.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay. Yeah, we should probably give the pilot first place, because I think there's a version of this game with a much better character in the pilot spot that would help.
Yeah, that could be a much better game.
The weapon being what it is, at least a chunk of the writing for the weapon, right?
Uh-huh.
A chunk of the writing for the weapon, I think, works and could be used in a better version of this game. Like it functions. But yeah, the pilot just I don't love him. Okay, I'm gonna vote for the pilot. KZ, do you want to make any arguments for the weapon over the pilot, or
No, let's just do the pilot so that it can end.
Okay. So we have we have 5 runners up.
Who cares?
The actual interesting part of this category.
Ichiro Dazai, Everyone in Riders Republic, Dr. Hakim, and Balan. And the top 3 worst characters are third place Escharum, second place The Weapon, and first place The Pilot. Really glad we could have a year in video games where the top 2 worst characters are named The and Word.
It's a really good sign of making characters.
At least eventually one of them gets a name.
Uh-huh.
But we can't say that would be spoilers. And we don't have any spoilers in this game of the year, by the way.
Okay, sure. I believe you.
Next category is Best Zelda Game. The nominees are Death's Door, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, and Unsighted. And I can't help but notice the words The Legend of and Zelda don't appear in any of these titles.
Wait a minute.
Since we have so few nominees, I vote we do a first place and runner up like we did in that other category.
Sure.
I assume that's all right.
Yeah.
Let me throw this in there. Okay. What do we even do? One vote.
Yeah, there we go.
This is getting done. Death's Door, Kana, Bridge of Spirits, and Unsighted. We're going to go ahead and let KZ start. KZ?
Death's Door.
Okay. Mr. Feel?
Death's Door.
Bob?
Kinda. I like 3D Zelda games more.
Yeah, I know that. Just to be clear, Death's Door and Kana are both very good games. I enjoyed them immensely. I'm going to give it to Death's Door. Yeah, Death's Door is really fucking good. As it turns out, one might say, specifically one, that it is the best soundtrack of 2021, possibly. But yeah, no, I'm gonna have to give it to Death's Door. That was a quick category. So I assume everyone's okay with best Zelda game being Death's Door with runner-up Kana.
Yeah,
Bob, do you?
I think that's fine. We're not going to get unsighted in here or anything. And I'm definitely not going to try and argue you guys for this.
We don't have room
Please-
for a third.
please
Maybe
don't.
you could argue up unsighted if that's a thing you're interested in.
Kana only got one vote. I feel like Unsighted could really go above it.
Yeah, it has 0.
Yeah.
Okay. That means best Zelda game is Death's Door with runner-up Kana, Bridge of Spirits. Very excited for this category next year. You know, assuming that the actual Zelda game ever ships. We'll see.
Right?
We'll see. Moving on to the next category, best animal you can pet.
Ooh.
They'll allow you. The nominees are alpacas from Story of Seasons, cat from Iki Island, cow from Story of Seasons. I guess we should clarify Iki Island meaning Ghost of Tsushima's DLC. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Cow from Story of Seasons. Dog until he wants your friends to die from Unsighted. Wonder why this wasn't on. Guapo from Far Cry 6. Hoodle from Tales of Arise. Gene from No More Heroes 3. Oro's Turtle from Street Fighter 5. What? And Rot from Kana Bridge of Spirits. It's kind of funny that 2 of the games in the last category made it in for best animal you can pet. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna have 4 votes each. I'll go first. The cow from Story of Seasons is incredible. It's the Harvest Moon cow. It's timeless.
He's huge.
It's so big.
Yeah, you get to pet him.
Not pregnant.
Unless
Ooh.
breeding kit.
Let's fucking go.
Gene's incredible. I'm trying to remember petting Gene. Because the No More Heroes 2 petting Gene's unbeatable.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. That's not in this, unfortunately.
No, it is not.
But I'm pretty sure you can still pet her.
I know, it gets confusing because it's like Knack's voice coming out of Gene.
You're right.
Always sound like this.
I've always sounded like this. You tripping? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it to Gene. From here, I don't know. I didn't pet them in Kana. If I did, it didn't really leave an impact. Trying to remember. I'm gonna look up footage of Guapo getting petted.
Dude. I think it even gives you a trophy like you can pet the croc.
Yes, that's true. And I know I got that achievement.
Yup.
I'm going to give it to Guapo and alpacas. Because the alpacas are really good in Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. Because they do that really creepy, like, swinging their head with joy thing. And I'm like, your neck's too long. This creeps me out.
Stop.
I'm glad you're enjoying this, but Jesus. So those are my 4. We're going to move on to KZ.
Okay, cow from Story of Seasons, because look at that thing.
Yeah,
Guapo, because they let me pet a crocodile.
it's pretty good.
Hoodle, because look at it. Look at that funny bird. And that'll be it for me.
Okay. Bob.
I'm also going to vote for Hoodle.
Okay.
The thing takes a pat like nobody's business.
Yeah!
Gene.
Okay.
Just too good.
Oh yeah.
I really like Oro's turtle. Not enough can be said to a fighting game character who's basically always holding his turtle, just constantly. It like plays with him. It's really good.
Yeah, I heard that
He
that
does
was
this-
like a thing, and I'm like, what?
He does his giant energy ball super, and then the turtle's just hanging onto his back for dear life.
Where they're like, he will always fight holding it. I'm like, excuse me? What?
Oh man. Yeah, I'm watching a video of this turtle. Oh man. That's intense. One moment, I'm going to post that YouTube video called Street Fighter V Oro and all his turtles' interactions with the thumbnail. Oro loves his turtle.
And then for my last vote, it's going to be the Rot.
Okay.
These things they're so scrimblow core and they're very cute.
They are very cute. Absolutely. Why else could you buy them so many hats?
Right?
I give him a little scratch.
We're going to move on to Feel.
Hoodle,
Okay.
Gene,
Okay.
and I didn't play any other, so I abstain.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can find footage of petting Hoodle. Because I need to see this. Need to see how good this pet is.
Yeah, I'm very sure Rinwell usually is the one who pets her, but I think there might be animations of others petting her.
I think she pets him in the anime opening, too.
Oh my god.
That would be OP1. Jesus Christ.
Come on, give me a pet. Just want to show you pet the Hoodle.
Just give me the shot.
Okay, and let me tabulate this. So currently, what it looks like is first and second place are dominated by Gene from No More Heroes 3 and Hoodle from Tales of Arise. Third place and runner-up between the cow from Story Seasons and Guapo. Does anyone want to shake up these rankings via debate?
Yeah, I don't think
Let me. Oh, it's a story. Oh, right. The Story of Seasons cow is always that cow, so I have to put a vote on that cow.
I was sitting here thinking
I always
that's
forget
insane,
that the
but-
Story of Season. I always think that the Story of Seasons cow. I forget that it's 50% face.
Yes.
yes.
And also all the character models for the humans are like skinnier and smaller in this new game, so the cows are even huger.
Yeah. No, it's real good. Thing's a Buick.
God, a few.
It couldn't fit in our garage.
Yeah. But we would try. Because it's such a good cow.
Yeah, we push.
So then it looks like the top three is Hoodle, Gene, and this cow from Story Seasons runner-up Guapo. Does anyone want to shuffle any of that before we start voting?
No, I don't think I can convince anyone that Oro's turtle is amazing. So we can go on.
I'm just happy Guapo did so well.
Yeah, no, it's important to give Guapo attention. Guapo's possibly the best part of Far Cry 6.
I can definitively say yes.
Oh.
What? It's a crocodile you can pet, and he just starts eating people.
And also
Yeah,
his
I
name
live in Florida,
that is,
so it's
that is
pretty
pretty
normal.
good.
and his name's Guapo. I think it's really
Yeah,
important.
it
to
would
know.
make me. If I don't like hearing those stories from Florida where it's like, yeah, Croc got this lady's dog, and then she tried to go get it back.
Yeah.
She's dead now.
Yeah. No, that's... Yep.
Yep.
There's just something real fun about Guapo where they're like, go invade that camp with Guapo.
And Guapo, the funny thing is, like, Guapo will not attack anyone until you give the signal.
Yeah, he's like that fucked up dog Shadow in fucking Dead to Rights who always goes for the nuts.
Okay. So, we have a top three. I think we should do 2 votes each since we're trying to shake an order out. We'll start with KZ.
Hoodle and Cow.
Bob.
Hoodle and Gene.
Feel.
Hoodle and Gene.
I'm going to vote Cow and Gene. Okay, so that means Hoodle and Gene are tied. Cow comes in third. I'm okay with that. One vote each.
Yeah, that would be how that works.
I just, I think this is just going to tie. But let's see. Bob,
Hoodle.
Feel,
Gene.
KZ.
Poodle.
I'm going to vote for Gene. But I'm watching these videos of Hoodle.
Dude.
Gene is
Hoodle's
great.
Hoodle's great, but Gene is a cat, which is inherently a better thing to pet than a bird.
That is true. I've pet birds, and that doesn't usually go well.
And Gene is voiced by Knack.
Gene does have that buff. Hoodle makes it easy. Hoodle basically lives like at pet height.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's just a shoulder height bird at all times.
Yes.
Like, I know Gene. I've been with Gene for an extended period. They've had better pet moments. Hoodle's new on the scene.
But can I actually pet Hoodle?
Fairly certain you can.
Yeah, there might not be a direct interaction. It might be something that just happens in cutscenes.
Yeah, I don't.
Whereas Gene, I think you get to directly interact.
Yeah. Because I can't find any footage of you being able to pet Hoodle.
I think you can when you make camp, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that just happens in the background. You don't actually get a button prompt to pet the Hoodle.
Okay.
So I will give it to Gene on that merit. More direct interacting pet.
I'm just watching way too much Hoodle footage right now. Doing research by looking at this funny bird. Good Lord. Okay, but so you're willing to switch your vote, Bob?
Yeah.
So then we're looking at Gene Hoodle Cow.
Yeah.
Moo.
Sounds like a good order.
I'm okay with that. You okay with that, Casey?
Yeah, Gene, you get off this time. You put in a half effort in this game with that pet. But we'll take it.
Like,
I
Yeah,
think about that
it-
second
it-
one. If they did that again, but somehow worse, I would have voted
Yeah,
for it on round one.
yeah.
The biggest problem with No More Heroes 3 is we don't get the rub the tummy mini game where you rotate the stick and just shake the
That's
shit
what
out
I
of the
want.
cat.
I want that,
Right.
but it's somehow a lower frame rate than you would expect.
Yeah.
And Gene is still just directly attached to the model of your hand.
Right. It's just Gene is basically attached to your joystick.
I wanted to, and I wanted to have the complexity of the toilet minigame.
If I could just, if Hoodle was a thing that you could pet at any time,
Right.
I would give it to Hoodle in a heartbeat. Is my thing. That's really just it. But yeah, I'm okay with the cow taking third. I feel good with this order. I can settle with this. It sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So, the order for best animal you can pet goes to runner-up Guapo from Far Cry 6, Cow from Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. What, car?
Car. Yeah, the thought of, the Forza car. You can pet it.
Oh, I should have added that.
I don't think you can, though.
It would have been really funny.
should've
You go into first person, you're behind the dashboard, and you just pet the dashboard while driving single-handedly.
Yes.
It's like, this is dangerous.
Let's fucking go.
Hoodle from Tales of Rise takes second, and Gene from No More Heroes 3 takes first.
And when it comes down to it, none of them can stand to our previous amazing animal you can pet, Miwako from 13 Sentinels.
That's true. I desperately searched, was there any game this year where you got a prompt to pet a girl on the head? And I would have brought that, but sadly I could not find one.
Yeah, I was hoping that would come up in Multiply. I went through all the story modes that I could, and I didn't find it. Because that feels like prime real estate.
Yeah. Next category, biggest pile of bullshit. The nominees are Ghost and Goblins Resurrection, like 75% of Dicey Dungeons, May from Guilty Gear Strive, Rotating Snakes from Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, Unsighted Secret Dungeon Boss, and Returnal Act 2. I'm going to need 2 explanations here.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll go
Okay.
with 3. Somebody explain to me the unsighted secret dungeon boss.
So this boss is a boss from earlier in the game that was already annoying.
Okay.
And they had him, now it spawns the hardest enemies in the game, basically.
Boo.
And does about 2 to 3 times as much damage. It's really terrible. And I'm like, I was going to do this, and I just stopped. I did all the puzzles in your ultimate dungeon, and you ruined the whole thing with this.
Okay, do you remember which boss that is exactly?
It's like a robot crab, but the second time, I don't think it has a name.
Okay, all right. Trying to find it, but they're showing other secret bosses in this footage that I'm finding, so... Okay, somebody explained the rotating snakes in Final Fantasy IV Endwalker.
Okay, I will. There's boss fights in Final Fantasy XIV called Trials. There are 8 players. You fight one big guy. Most of Final Fantasy XIV's mechanics are recognizing a telegraph and then moving to the right place to avoid the attack. So he summons these snakes that make big pillars of like AoE marker, which is like, get out of these. Then he goes, ha, idiot, and lifts you up and freezes you in place and rotates the platform you're on 45. One turn, imagine like a square rotating 1 turn clockwise. And then he puts you back down.
Oh.
And then the AoE goes off.
Immediately, you have no chance to move after that. You have to go, okay, once it moves, I'll be in a safe place. And the columns that you have to avoid are just shaped strangely enough that you can't that it's way harder than you think it would be. In fact, I've done that fight 3 times, and every single time we have wiped multiple times to those fucking snakes.
Jesus.
Because it's like you have 10 seconds to figure out where in space you need to be after I get quirky.
Oh my god.
It's funny because their first example of doing it is summoning some little behemoths that do circles. And you're like, okay, there's large gaps in this map. I will be able to figure it out. And they are vertical lines that are across the... they're like horizontal lines that are going across the square. I'm not gauging this well.
Feel... Can you find me a clip of this? Because I do want to just see it in action.
Okay, sure.
While he does that, Feel, I assume you nominated Dicey Dungeons? Or was that KZ?
Yes, let me explain Dicey Dungeons real quick. So Dicey Dungeons is it's kind of like a roguelike, but it's not really, because it's always the same. It's always the same. There's randomized loot, and that's it. You have like a you have a Super Mario World map, and each pip is like a battle or a treasure chest or something. The way it works is it's a turn-based RPG based on dice. So, and each character has a different gimmick and and you find gear. Here's an example. First character, the warrior. The warrior starts with 2 weapons. A sword that you put in a dice and it does that damage. All the dice are 1d6. There's no other shapes. The second is a battle axe that does double damage, but you can't put anything higher than a 4 in it. And his special power, which all the characters have a special power, is to re-roll a dice 3 times a turn. And as you level up, you get more dice each round. And you can find more gear. You know, so you have like 4 weapons instead of just 2, because you can only use them once per turn. So it's like, okay, I have a 5 and a 3. So it's about optimizing your dice, not so much as RNG. Because if you have a 3 and you can only roll 1 more time and you want to use the battle axe, you don't want to re-roll that 3 because there's more of a chance that you'll get a 2 or a 1 or a 5 or a 6, which you can't use. So all the first levels, and there's 6 characters, and they all have different gimmicks of increasing complexity. Like there's a robot, and he has a random number generator. But if you go over a limit per turn, it shuts off and glitches out all your items.
Great.
But that's not the bullshit part.
Mm-hmm.
Each one has six routes that they can go into for a total of 36 levels. Pretty much 2 of each are fine. But then it starts getting into shit like, okay, instead of gaining health when you level up, you lose health. The balance for this is we gave you a really bad item to let you regain a tiny bit of health sometimes. And that's like most of the game is have some debilitating condition. In exchange, you get a bad piece of equipment.
Okay. All right.
So and that not like that killed the interest in my game immediately. I was like, this game is crack. It is cocaine. I am going to 100% it. I am going to get every single fucking thing in it. And then I looked at these challenges and I'm like, I don't want to do any of these. Because I'm not making different choices. I'm making the exact same choices and hoping RNG is in my favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that always feels terrible.
Okay. I thought for the audience sake and I guess I would describe Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection.
Sure.
Bob got to play it. KZ got to hear me explain exactly how it goes normally. I spent something like 45 minutes on the first level and couldn't remotely make decent progress in it because they balance the game around 2 systems. One, you literally using checkpoints that they make very clear is for babies. And I'm not this type of person where a game's like, hey, you can continue from a checkpoint. No, they have 2 tiers of checkpoint. One tier, the normal tier, in their opinion, are miles apart. And then they have checkpoints for babies, which is below that. And they balance the game out entirely around you having screen clearing tiers of abilities that you do not get until you beat the first level. So a person who grew up with Ghosts and Goblins on the NES, who's played various different versions of this series across the years, booted this up, and I'm like, this isn't Ghosts and Goblins Hearts. This is just a pile of bullshit. It is just in no way balanced whatsoever. Bob comes over, pounds his head against it, and uses like baby checkpoints, which I don't remember the actual name. They just literally, they're like, here are real checkpoints. Do you want baby checkpoints?
The worst part of it is when you die, it's like, do you want to start at the regular checkpoint that leaves your cursor on that? Or you have to go down a few to go to the baby checkpoint.
They make you go out of your way to feel bad for using them.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to. They start you on the 3rd item, and you have to go up 2 to get to these checkpoints. I would have just picked those checkpoints because I'm like, fuck you, it's a video game, I don't have time. I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah, but it's the fact they didn't balance this game at all. Like, even the original Ghosts and Goblins, which takes quarters from you, which is its soul life, right? That's its lifeblood.
Yeah, even using
wasn't this cruel.
Even those baby checkpoints, it was still miserable. I still felt like I was like whittling away at this level was a spoon.
Right,
yeah,
because
100%.
like every like 15 feet or something, it spawns 7 enemies on screen all at once right next to you. They're crawling out of the background.
Yeah.
You can't stop them. They need to touch the ground before you can hit them with a weapon. It's insane. I don't understand this balance. This is literally someone, you would think it was someone who's like, video games used to be NES hard. I'm going to make one of those again and really show modern gamers. But it's the guy who made the original, apparently. So it's like, wait, what? Do you not remember how you used to balance this shit? Oh, man. Yeah. Anyway, there's that. KZ, I assume Returnal Act 2 is you based on Game of the Year so far.
Yeah. Mainly from the fact that Act 2 basically starts you with the exact same things you have in Act 1, but is like 18 times harder. I don't know how you make a roguelike like that.
Yeah, Returnal Act 2. Act 2 is like a CBT factory.
It becomes this thing of I like general escalation. And this doesn't understand that. They're just like, it's just really hard now, and until you beat that, you can't go back to the old version of it. And I'm like, I just like 2 acts that have a really good escalation throughout, instead of you open the first door in an Act 2 map, and then there's 3 laser sights on you and a giant alien thing that's shooting a wall of bullets now. You haven't picked up a new gun yet.
Yeah, you have to get a new gun really fast in Act 2 or else it's just fucking over. In fact, I'm stunned that Bob beat Returnal with his horrible I only get the pistol glitch. That's like fucking heroic. You should get a special trophy that nobody else in the world gets.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't even get normal trophies.
Yeah, that's true.
The game definitely launched on time, though. Not too early.
Definitely not early.
It really bummed me out because I really liked that first half. So it went from me going, this is a really cool game, to being miserable throughout the entire second half.
That's unfortunate. They have some really cool shit in that second half.
They do. I really like the transition of going from the second to last level to the last one, the stuff they do and stuff, and like, I think that's really solid.
Yeah.
But that 4th level fucking sucks, man. Like I like the 5th level pretty all right.
Yeah.
But that 4th level's just bad.
If only there was some sort of mechanic involving astronauts that might... Just kidding. That only makes it work.
Right.
Yeah. They should make it so you just have one from the start, always.
Should anyone explain May? I feel like the audience may not know.
Did you play
She's
it
a
at launch?
silverback gorilla.
Yeah, people seem kind of upset when she's used online.
She was really strong, and when the game first came out, oh boy, was that apparent.
I think she could still kill guys in like 3 hits. It's pretty good.
she had some fairly decent buttons. And then they made people hate her theme song because so many things default to auto based on who's fighting.
Yeah.
So you're just hearing fucking disaster or passion as you fucking die in Guilty Gear Strive, a game that has lower health. The only thing that I think has lower health is maybe cross tag battle. These battles go fast.
Yeah. Okay. So having explained all that, let's see. We have 6 nominees. I'm going to go ahead and say we do 2 votes. Everyone's fine with that?
Sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should do 3. Maybe we should do 3.
I'm fine with 2.
Okay. We may spend more time at the end deadlocked, but we'll do 2. We'll start with KZ.
All right. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection.
Okay.
I watched that.
Yeah.
I watched that and saw that the levels are balanced around your AoE spells that you don't get in the first level.
Yeah.
And that's insane. The rotating snakes in Final Fantasy XIV, I'm not voting for them.
Okay.
They are fucking funny. There are you deal with a lot of mechanics in FF14 of he's going to do a big wind up from this direction. He's going to sweep the arena, and if you get caught in that, it launches you off and you're dead. And then your corpse teleports back onto the arena. There's stuff like that. Or we're going to grab the cage and tilt it so you're sliding off. So if you're on the very edge at the time, you're gone. It's over. Or
the shit that's in the final boss of Endwalker where it's like, I'm going to summon 2 planets rotating around the edge of the arena. One is faster. When they collide, 95% of the platform takes instant kill damage. You have to be on the entire opposite side of when they collide.
Some of that stuff is some of the coolest shit ever. Rotating snakes is just really funny. And I've had a little bit better luck on that compared to another mechanic that is in that exact same fight. So, but I appreciate Phil having to deal with it. I was much worse on one where they're like, look in the sky, you're about to fucking die.
Yeah, there's one where you have to look in the sky and you see a pattern, but you're looking at the underside of the pattern. So you have to you have to realize you're looking at the underside of something that's going to fall on you and then move to the right place.
Yeah, people keep posting an out of context screenshot of that Mario Party 3 minigame where the pages are falling on you and there are holes in them. As that's the visual guide of how to understand where to go. I'm gonna pick Returnal Act 2 because it did that.
Okay. We'll move to Feel.
Returnal Act 2, because I'd honestly forgotten until like we talked about it even a little. I'm like, man, that really was a ball buster.
You got so many good loans. I watched you stream that, and your build was so good. I was getting upset, and I usually don't.
It's like, man, I got this small loan of a really high of a machine gun rocket launcher that just eviscerates every single boss.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
the damage.
This economic system is fair.
It's almost like the entire difficulty curve of Returnal is just random.
What? No way. No.
And I'm gonna give it to Dicey Dungeons because that killed my desire to play any more of the game.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So wait, is randomness a huge part of this category? Who would have thought? Okay.
No, in a good game, you can mitigate randomness with good game player decision making.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. I'll go. Yeah, I'm absolutely voting for Ghost of Cobble.
Yeah, of course.
Like, oh my god, I think that's why I made this category.
Yeah.
Yes, you're like
I'm
at
making this
first it was gonna have only one nominee in it.
Yeah, I was like, there we go. I'm writing in that. This has upset me so much. I made a category. I cannot believe Ghost of Goblins, a franchise known for just being difficult as hell, is just doing designs that are just bullshit.
I'm sorry, you stepped through this hallway. 80 dudes are not gonna come out of the wall.
Yeah. Aside from that, since I can't understand the abstract geometries of this footage of this Final Fantasy XIV battle I'm watching.
Well, did you see it spin?
I'm seeing a light within a circle travel around the room.
There's 3 lights.
Oh yeah, that's the part where that's I think that's the Mario Party fucking page shit.
There's a lot going on here.
You should have time.
Yeah, the part right after the time. I did timestamp it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 1 second. I think it started from the beginning. One moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 minutes 45
Okay, 1
seconds.
second.
It shows the fucking snakes.
I'm watching. Okay, we're spinning the whole platform. Here, I'm going to full screen this so Bob can see this. Here we go, Bob. It starts here.
Okay.
Right here.
And you can see 2 people in that footage just get eviscerated. Because they're in it after it turns. It's over for them.
Yeah.
It's
That camera angle change. Oh,
Yeah,
so you can't
'cause
move
it's-
while that camera angle's
Yeah,
changed.
no.
Because it's not the camera
Yeah,
angle
no, you
that's
don't-
changing. It's the whole ground that's rotating. See?
Oh,
yeah,
that's,
you're being
the
lifted
enemies
up,
are-
and then they just rotate the bottom.
oh my god.
As the boss goes, fucking bend to my will. It is the funniest mechanic I think they've ever done. Because everyone who experiences for the first time goes, what the fuck are you doing?
That's kind of hilarious. Based on the footage I saw of the unsighted secret boss, I'm going to throw my vote into that because I already think that the unsighted bosses are not great to fight at all. I posted a timestamp thing in there if anyone wanted to check out the part with. I think that was, maybe it's a little early. Yeah, it's a little early before this crab shows up.
I'll trust you.
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of that boss the first time.
It was already the worst
it's-
boss the first time.
Because the hit detection was already kind of really annoying with it and various other things about fighting it. So it's spawning in these really annoying dudes while you deal with that in a game that's already not terribly fun to engage with. Yeah, I'm going to vote for that. Bob, 2 votes.
Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah.
I played it. Jesus, come on.
Yeah, I don't.
It doesn't feel good to be on the first level for 30 plus minutes, even using those checkpoints. That's just miserable. What feels sad about Dicey Dungeon really is selling me on it, because that would just make me completely stop.
Yeah,
Like, Unsighted was miserable, but
but you were enjoying it up
Because
until then.
okay, for the warrior, the second challenge is you're cursed, and curse means there's a chance for one of your items to just fail and vanish, and you lose that dice and you lose that item. But the second challenge is you're cursed forever, but every piece of gear you start with and find is upgraded, which means it has a much better effect. Or it only takes up 1 slot, because some take up 2. You have 6 slots. and some will take up 2. But this one's like, no, it only takes up 1 because it's upgraded.
Okay.
So that felt balanced because it's like, okay, I have to play things in a very specific order to minimize the risk of this curse that I know I always have. And then every other challenge is like your bones are hollow, but you get this blunt sword. And I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. I'll go ahead and vote for that.
This is awful. Give me one of those.
Okay. Okay. So that's 2 votes on Dicey Dungeon. Because Bob threw one on it and Feel threw one on it. Let me tabulate this. Okay. So top 3 are Ghost of Goblins Resurrection in first currently with 3 votes. Like 75% of Dicey Dungeons with 2 votes and Returnal Act 2 with 2 votes.
Does anyone want to contest Ghost and Goblins?
I think this is already in the order.
Yeah, I think that we're set. I'm fine with this at least.
I'm completely fine with that. Honestly, the only thing is I think maybe Returnal Act 2 should go higher. But
I don't know. I don't think it should, but that's me.
I mean, Dicey Dungeons costs I think $5 and Returnal costs $70.
Yes.
That's not true. I saw Returnal on sale for $67.
Okay, no, Dicey,
you'd say 60 flat.
Dicey Dungeons costs 15, but the entire thing was made by one guy.
No, I get that. I get the argument you're trying to make.
Hey, Phil.
I understand.
Can I stop in the middle of a run of Dicey Dungeons at all? Is there like save points or anything?
You know what? Well, you can stop in the middle of a Returnal run now, 6 months after it came out.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't actually know because I haven't actually ever done that. The only time I quit a run mid-run was when I'm like, I'm not done playing this game anymore. You know what? I guess I'm fine with this order because I did finish Returnal. I quit Dicey Dungeons because it feels bad.
I mean, yeah, that's a solid logic to a category called.
Yeah, like my thing is, Mr. Eternal, it's not just Act 2. It's everything about the progression.
Yeah.
And
but
but that's the thing. The progression system where it's like you got to pick up the weapon and then that's how it'll know forever and all of that stuff is bad. And when you stress it with really needlessly hard difficulty spikes, it just makes it break more. It's like the system isn't great and making that harder is not going to help it at all.
Now, I think my silence should be clear, but I'll state it for the audience who maybe doesn't have a clue. I have fucking no problems with the difficulty in this game. I understand it's really fucking hard, but I enjoy it. I'm not the hugest fan of the randomized elements, but I genuinely love this game. So, of course, I'm not going to understand. Like, I'm not going to relate.
Oh, I'm Dan. I'm the Chad Epic Gamer.
That is not what I'm saying. That is basically how it happens, because then
I'm objectively good at Mega Man Maker.
Here's Returnal. You start the game. Oh, that's cool. Some items are good, but some of them have a risk of being malignant, which will cause a debuff. Here's Act 2. 95% of everything is purple and evil.
Yeah, which is why you start your run by doing hard drugs, hoping for the best, and if you get cancer, kill yourself. It's a pretty good strat, actually. Because you go, okay, well, if I could get through 2/3 of Act 4 or Act 2, Round 1, right? This 4th level. If I could get through 2/3 of that with some purples that are actually good, then you're gonna have a good run.
Dan's like, if you get born as upper middle class, just stick a fork in an outlet and re-roll until you get Saudi Prince.
Now, I'm not gonna say that's how I feel, but sometimes
it's just sometimes I just think about Act 2 and I'm like, this is like if you played The Binding of Isaac and they made you start on stage 3.
I mean, I'm the guy who sat down and did a run through, what was it, Bob? How many levels in a row for that fucking unbelievably long stream where I'm like, I'm gonna set a world speedrun record.
Yeah, didn't you get to the 5th area?
It was either the 5th or the 6th on a single sitting.
Yeah, that was insane.
I wish I was good enough at the video game that I could not be stopped by such horrible things it throws at me, but I'm not.
But yeah, I wasn't trying to say the difficulty spike doesn't exist. It definitely gets more difficult at that point. And you have to do hard drugs to get over it. So if you guys want to turn on me and push Returnal above Dicey Dungeons, I understand, but I do not agree, and I think this is the correct order.
Yeah, I
I think the order's fine, because at least I could finish Returnal. I can't finish Dicey Dungeons.
Yeah, okay. I'll stick with that too. Of like, it's the Dicey Dungeon stuff does sound so bad. I would never.
Yeah, I feel like that would be enough for me to put that game down, but
Yeah, when it becomes that, just it's fully random. You can't even fight it in some way. There's no way to fight against this randomness that has ruined the game.
Yeah, because it's a turn-based RPG. You literally have no input but the dice.
Yeah, so I'll
And like deciding like what equipment you want to get in a choice between two, and sometimes there's a store.
Yeah, I'm fine with this order. I wasn't expecting it to get anywhere near as high as it did for Returnal Act 2. I thought it was going to be, it's a skill issue. And then it just got last place.
we say, oh, just get better. And then all three of us smash beer cans on our forehead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why don't you go summon two people to help you in Dark Souls, scrub? And then I smash.
Dan, you actually have the highest average of when we do spoiler casts of going, my issue was I was too good.
I mean, to be fair,
That's true.
Given that Astral Chain broke itself by dropping a thing for me that it dropped for literally no one else, I'm very excited for my next playthrough to see the game you all saw. Where it's just like, yeah, we're not going to give you a weapon that gives you 30% of the damage you do back as health. And I'm like, wait, what? Is this how poor people live? God. This is the worst. This hurts.
no game should ever have RPG mechanics again.
I'm going to go ahead and read it off, though.
Yeah.
No runner-up this time, because it only got one vote. It was for me, and I'm okay with dropping it entirely. Third place goes to Returnal Act 2 for, oh, right, I have to say the title of the category again, so that way people don't get lost, audio format and all. Biggest pile of bullshit. The winners are...
Yeah, real winners here.
Yeah, real winner. Returnal Act 2 in third place. Like 75% of Dicey Dungeons in second place. And Ghost and Goblins Resurrection in first place.
Okay, I finally feel okay with this. Because it reads like this from bottom to top.
Mm-hmm.
Half of Returnal. 3/4 of Dicey Dungeons. All of Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, honestly, like at some point I was gonna play that because I love the Genesis Ghosts and Goblins, and I even love Super Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah.
On Super Nintendo, finding out that it's like this weird fucking bullshit by someone who doesn't understand Ghosts and Goblins. Like, man, come on.
Yeah, it's fucking weird because it's supposed to be the original guy. And I'm like, I don't understand how you did this to your game.
He's old and crazy.
He made the PSP one too, and that one was really good.
That was forever ago. It's done. It's over.
I wish it ran at 60 frames per second. That would have been nice. That would have been better than this. Anyway, we got to move on to our next category. Most Mispoken title.
Ooh!
Balan Wonderland. Oh, shit. I thought I read the actual title, not the...
What?
This is how bad it is. For this category, for this moment, I had to look it up to make sure it was Wonderland.
Wait, what? I thought you were running a bit.
No, it really is that bad, and it's made worse by the fact there's a character named Lance and Beland, and it's not Wonderland. And it was introduced by Keeley as that, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure that at some point they said Wonderland there, yes.
They just injected that shit into my brain, and it's never gonna leave. The executive producers for this month of GigaBoots are Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Live Action Muito Real, Completely Normal Adam, Cooper Tank, Zilter, and Virvarm. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these patrons. If you want to become an executive producer for an obscure but powerful YouTube channel, head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.